just to make sure everybody is here and ready to go on time.
FlightAware shows more than 300 flights were canceled there yesterday. Many of those passengers have shifted to flights today in response, but hundreds of new cancellations are reported today as well. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Yeah, the lower north security checkpoint also closed today. As for those issues, FlightAware showing right now more than 300 delayed flights at Hartsfield-Jackson, more than 250 cancellations. Those numbers, as Austin's dead likely to continue to go higher. As for what to expect today, Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards coming up in less than 2 minutes. Several school districts around Metro Atlanta have either called off class for the day, delayed their start, or gone virtual. You can find a full list at WSBradio.com. And the winter weather has caused all state offices in Metro Atlanta to close, including the state capitol and all of its administrative services. State workers being asked to work remotely. Officials say they'll look at weather conditions through the day before deciding on operations for tomorrow. Decision expected sometime this afternoon or evening. While Atlanta has had its own winter storm, it's nothing like what they're experiencing well south of here. The Gulf Coast digging out from record snowfalls.
Icy conditions in Louisiana, shutting down the world's longest bridge over water. State authorities responding to at least 50 crashes as parts of Louisiana saw their first ever blizzard warning.
Reporter Trevor Alt says New Orleans seeing its biggest snowfall in at least a century, if not ever, recorded history. Meanwhile, Houston, Texas also buried under snow. It's getting snow plows from as far away as Wisconsin to help the city dig out. About 40% of all of the United States is currently under a blanket of snow. Other stories we're watching this morning, getting word this morning that a second commercial poultry flock in Georgia has tested positive for bird flu. This one is in Elbert County in northeast Georgia. State Agriculture Commissioner Tyler Harper emphasizes this does not mean chicken you buy in the store is unsafe.
And I think the reason folks need to have confidence in that is because of the rigorous inspection standards that we have for the safety of our food supply.
He notes no infected birds have entered the food supply chain. Georgia suspends all poultry activities last Friday in Georgia after the first commercial case of bird flu is confirmed in the state, that also being in Elbert County. And after a booming holiday season, Netflix raising its prices for the second time since October.
Its standard plan with ads is going from $6.99 to $7.99, while its standard ad-free tier is jumping up to $17.99 a month. Its premium tier option is going to $24.99.
And Matt Piper reports the company added a record 19 million subscribers in the fourth quarter last year, pushing its total over 300 million in the country. It credits programming like the second season of Squid Game along with NFL broadcasts. It is 9:03. Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start with those roads icy in spots. Triple team traffic. Smile on Mark McKay.
Slick indeed, Judd, and that's why you have to exercise caution. A lot of the surface streets are either untreated or will be as the day goes on. We're just hoping the temperature can go further above the freezing mark to get some melting underway. Now, the interstates, at least here in Metro Atlanta, have been treated and are working well. Very light traffic volume, so if you have to get somewhere, you're in good shape. What isn't in good shape is the I-75 corridor trying to get up into Locust Grove. It's been shut down for hours. Terrible, as the south side was hammered last night and into early this morning. I-75 northbound shut down about 25 miles south of Locust Grove if you're expecting somebody up. The downtown Atlanta ride, watching the connector, Ashley Fresca.
It's been trouble-free since about 5:30 this morning on 75, 85 north and south. However, once you make it to Hartsfield-Jackson International, TSA wait times are over an hour. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly sunny today, but still frigid with a high of 36. Lows tonight back down into the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Another cold start on Friday, morning low 24. Daytime high 42 with a partly cloudy sky.
No kidding, frigid. 14 degrees in Douglasville, 18 degrees in Conyers, 19 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
I wasn't 100% sure it would happen, but I made it into the studio this morning. That's the good news, as did Deborah, Longoria. Heck, even Vinny Bag of Donuts made it in, braving the winter weather. It was a dicey ride, though. I'll go in depth on my journey to historic white columns here. Welcome to the Mark Arum Show. Obviously, we're going to cover this latest batch of winter weather to hit not just the metro area, but pretty much all of Georgia. Also, historic snowfalls in New Orleans, Deborah. 8 inches of snow In New Orleans. That is insane. We're going to go live at 9:50, talk to a reporter there. Scott Slade joins us live. 5K a day bonus splits, and we have more Willie Nelson tickets to give you. And, of course, we're going to go in-depth on yesterday was the first full day of the second Trump presidential term, and there was a lot of big headlines coming out of that. We'll go up to the nation's capital, check in with our White House correspondent. But let's start with what we are all dealing with this morning. Well, some of us aren't dealing with anything. Some of us are dealing with a lot. Joining us live from the Georgia Department of Transportation, our buddy Natalie Dale. Natalie, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. We're busy. We're very busy. How much coffee is too much coffee?
I'm right there with you. It's so interesting here, and we'll start in the metro area because that's where most of the listeners are from. There was a marked line of demarcation, right, on who got snow and who didn't get anything. Here in the metro area, where did you guys see the worst of it?
Well, I remember very, very specifically having this conversation with you on Monday that there was a northern point of that line that we didn't quite know where it was going to be. Meteorologists kept pinging around, and so the advisory was expanded, but it did almost what we thought it would, and what we were prepared for, which was that 85 corridor sort of. If you're above the 85 corridor, you didn't see much. If you're south of the 85 corridor and south to the Florida line, you continue to see stuff. And so, we treated well in advance of what we were expecting, knowing that it could swing north or it could swing south. And so, we've been busy again since Sunday, getting brine out, been treating the roads. And so right now we're just continuing to see in the metro area. I don't like to say the interstates are great because that's an invitation, but the interstates are good. They're good in the metro area. We still have crews out and about treating on those interchanges and those on and off ramps. That's where you're still going to see the problems in the southern part of the perimeter. But south of the Metro Atlanta, we've got different issues going on.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this Monday, and you said this would be a statewide event, and then Commissioner McMurray yesterday in that press conference from GEMA reiterated that. So we're kind of in our own Metro Atlanta, North Georgia bubble. What was like in Middle, South, and the coastal areas as far as the winter weather and the roads?
Well, we are still actively working on a handful of issues south of Metro Atlanta. One of those being, Mark just said, McKay Smilan just said, that 75 corridor coming up into the city in Monroe County. About 2:30 yesterday, we had a jackknife tractor trailer, unweather related, just your average run of the mill jackknife tractor trailer in Georgia. That caused it had to be towed, it had to be cleaned up. Well, the weather moved in. So behind that, there were multiple stalled out tractor trailers. They began to jackknife. And so we've been working in that corridor to get those tractor trailers out of there overnight since tonight. We have issues on I-95 with icing, and again into that Macon-Bibb area is where we're seeing the worst of the icing on the roads. And a lot of that is quite frankly due to we're seeing issues with commercial vehicles that are jackknifed. When we have a jackknife tractor trailer, we have to tow it. We have to get it out of the way. Those are hours that we lose on treating and retreating the road. And so that's really kind of what we're battling right now.
And I saw the forecast of Savannah getting a significant amount of snow in that I-95 corridor, which, even in perfect conditions, you see so much commercial traffic, as you mentioned, heading up the Georgia coast into the Carolinas. As far as resources, I mean, we talked, usually it's like, all right, everyone from South Georgia is coming up to the metro area in North Georgia to deal with the snow. But you warned on Monday that might not be the case on this situation, where it seems that, South and Middle Georgia got hit way harder than we did here in the metro area. So how are you able to allocate the resources for this winter weather?
Right. Well, we expected that. And that, again, was part of our conversation on Monday, which was this was likely going to be a situation where we were sending crews south. We're still sending more and more crews south as we can, more and more materials south as we can. But again, materials, crews, they're not if we can't have continuity of service, if we can't have that the operational continuity that we have when our trucks are constantly on the roads because we have jackknife tractor trailers and things like that. They don't do us much good on a road that we can't get to. So again, it's frustrating in some aspects that we continue to have people out and about on the road when we ask them to stay home, but we get it. It's going to happen, and that's why our crews are still out there working really hard.
The final couple of things for you, Natalie. Natalie Dale from the DOT joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Your advice to motorists today. And the second question is, when are you expecting, talking to your meteorologist, your crews out there, when do you think things will warm up enough where we could be back to normal-ish on the state highways and roads?
Well, again, we have these extreme frigid conditions, these extreme frigid temperatures. So it's anything. We're not having a melt, and so we'll just keep retreating and plowing and treating some of these areas in Metro that we need to clear up. And again, just a reminder, we are as a state agency interstates and state routes. So we've been tagged in a lot of posts about icing of local streets. That's not going to be us. So a lot of work going on by a lot of people right now to clear these roads, and so patience. I wish I had a ball into the future to tell you what was going to happen when they were going to clear up. I think patience just will let you know when it's safe to travel. Again, in most half of Metro, it is safe to travel right now. You're just going to want to avoid the south side. But as we move forward through this winter weather season, just a word of warning. The governor was on TV yesterday at noon and said everyone needs to get home by 1 or 2. A lot of people. We had a pretty full rush hour in Atlanta yesterday, so we did not see a lot of people heed that warning to stay off the roads the way they did in the first storm system, and we're dealing with a lot of repercussions of that.
Yeah, I saw some of those stranded vehicles on my way in this morning. All right, Natalie Dale's going to get us through this winter storm, then Aruba, Bahamas. Where are you going to warm up and get some rest?
I just need a nap in my own house at this point. We have lovely accommodations at the Emergency Management Center and down at our Traffic Management Center. But when you get to be in the over 40 category, any sleep throws out my back these days. So we'll be fine.
All right, Natalie, thanks so much for the live update. You've got the number if you want to jump on with any updated info or just text me. We'd love to pass that info along to the listeners, and hopefully you can get a nap in today, buddy.
Well, we appreciate all the work y'all do in helping us get the message out. We just hope people listen to that message in the future.
Yeah, stay at home. I was home by 2 p.m. yesterday, which was a good thing. Then the beautiful snow started following. My commute in this morning, not so beautiful. I'll tell you about my treacherous journey when we come back on the Mark Arum Show.
Pomp and circumstance are over.
Donald Trump becomes president.
So help me God. Congratulations.
And promises big changes.
Put America first.
Now the work begins.
Changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
As each story breaks, we'll have it covered for you.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Arum back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When an injured worker left me a message that said, "You probably won't call me back, I'm just a nobody," I called him right back. Nobody's a nobody, and no one deserves a better firm than you.
He calls to tell me that he's been in an accident, and I'm just scared to death.
I couldn't have hoped for anybody better than Morgan & Morgan. It makes you feel like you're worth something.
It really did feel like family.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This past year has been incredibly tough for me. Hey, it's Belinda. Last year, I lost my dad, and most recently, my mom passed away peacefully at home. Please bear with me. My heart is broken. But I'm so grateful Mom was able to remain in her home until the end, thanks to the outstanding caregivers. I just have to tell you about Four Seasons Home Care. Mom loved the caregivers who took such good care of her. Knowing she was in good hands allowed me to be there as her daughter without the stress of managing everything alone. And I was able to keep up with my own responsibilities as a wife and mom, knowing we had these angels who were there day and night, making sure that Mom had everything she needed and fulfilled her wish to stay at home where she was most comfortable. Hey, if your parents are aging, don't wait to get caregiving help. Call Four Seasons Home Care and start the conversation. It's a free call and it can make all the difference. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
9:18 on the Mark Arum Show. No surprise here. We have some icing issues in DeKalb County. Live with the latest. Here's Mike Shields.
Yeah, great rule to live by this morning, Mark, and really through the day. If you don't have to be on the roads and you saw snow yesterday, stay off of them. Covington Highway, a mess, really anywhere between 285 and Lithonia. Several spots of icing, especially in the intersection of Panola Road. Also, Highway 124, Scenic Highway, a mess between Lithonia and Snellville. Cars abandoned on the roadway, reports there as well. And we've had icing on the I-285 to I-20 ramps in DeKalb County. That at times has the ramps blocked as well. This report is brought to you by Georgia Aquarium. Georgia Aquarium's brand new Aqua Pass unlocks a year of free visits. Just pay for a single day, then come back as many times as you want to see everything you want. Get your Aqua Pass at georgiaaquarium.org. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
It was not another car or truck on the interstate, it was scary. It was freaky.
Freaky, that's a Florida man talking about the snow in the Panhandle. So my father-in-law is in St. Pete Beach, so they didn't get any snow, but snow in the Panhandle of Florida, this crazy winter weather. Houston, you're from Texas, Longoria, allegedly.
I am,
yeah. They got hit hard. They don't have a single snow plow in Houston.
I bet, yeah.
Yeah, not one salt truck.
Leslie's aunts and uncles were sending us pictures yesterday of all the snow they got.
Crazy. 8 inches in New Orleans in an hour. We're going to check in with reporter Katie Weiss down in New Orleans. I can't even imagine the Big Easy getting 8 inches of snow. Like, can't New Orleans catch a break?
They get everything.
They literally get everything. I'm surprised. Judd said the story at the news at 9. Was it a mad cow disease or bird flu or something popped up here in Georgia? We got our second confirmed case
Bird
of
flu.
Bird flu. Like, I'm surprised that New Orleans isn't like the epicenter of mad cow, bird flu, hand, foot, and mouth. They just get hammered. Poor folks in New Orleans. We're going to go live there at 10:18. Check in with reporter Katie Weiss. All right, so just anecdotally, I didn't know if I was going to make it into work this morning. So we got great amount of snow in DeKalb County. It was beautiful. The dogs are over it. They enjoyed the first go around a little bit, but now they're like, we don't like this. And Maya kept asking me, yesterday afternoon and the evening, she's like, have you heard from work? What are they doing? What are you doing? I'm like, no, I haven't heard boo from anybody. Did you hear from anybody?
No. This one they didn't even.
Yeah, they're
like, you're on your own, guys.
It was radio silence. So I get up this morning and I go outside, and the street we live on is an absolute sheet of ice. Absolute sheet of ice. And I was like, oh, this is not good. And it's not a state road. It wasn't a DOT issue. It was DeKalb County and City of Decatur Road. But I didn't, it's such a small little street, probably at the bottom of the list of, we got to take care of this road. And I go back in and I'm like, I was thinking I might have to do the show from home remotely because the street I live on, there's a hill on both sides. It kind of dips and it was complete ice. And I'm like, well, if I can get out of my neighborhood, I think the roads will be better. But I was not confident that I was going to be able to go up this sheet of ice to get on. So I told Maya, I said, all right, and first of all, she goes, I'm not coming to get you. That was the first thing she said. She goes, if you get stranded, I am not coming to get you. I was like, fair enough. She wanted me to do the show from home. I was like, well, I got to give it a go. As I'm getting ready, I get a text from Jennifer Perry, our beloved producer of Atlanta's Morning News. She's like, hey, on your way in, can you stop at Quick Trip and get taquitos for the morning crew and an extra large Diet Coke for Graham? And I'm like, all right. So there's a little extra pressure. Like
now you got to
go. I'm like, they're counting on me now. So all I'm focused on is getting out of my neighborhood. I think if I can clear this ice sheet, I'll be better. And so I know how to drive on ice. I don't recommend it. But you need momentum. You shouldn't brake. You turn the wheel. So I've been there and done that. But I was not confident. I thought I was going to go up the hill and then and just go and slide right back down. Miraculously, one take Johnny. I get to the top of the hill onto La Vista Road.
Did you wave at Maya like, hey, I made it?
No. She was still. She's like, I'm not coming to get you. I am not picking you up. I get onto La Vista Road, which has been treated. It wasn't peachy. It wasn't a great ride on La Vista Road. But it wasn't a sheet of ice like my neighborhood. And I went, super slow. There was no one on the road, which is a great thing to see. Super slow. And I'm like, all right, I freaking got to go to Quick Trip now, which I have no problem. I'll often stop at Quick Trip anyway. But I was worried because the Quick Trip I go to on Claremont Road, to get in, you got to go up a hill. Like the entrance is up a hill. And I'm like, I hope they treated that because, if I'm driving by and I see that the hill is icy, sorry, Graham Carroll, you're not getting your Diet Coke. I'm just going to stay on Claremont Road and get on the interstate. So I pull up. I'm going slow toward the Quick Trip, and there's a little ice, but I'm like, I can navigate that. It wasn't a sheet of ice. I get in there, and again, I'll stop at that Quick Trip minimum 2 times a week coming into work, whether it's getting gas or breakfast or coffee or whatever. I was the only person in the Quick Trip. This is like 6:30 in the morning, which is there. You go at 6:30, it's jammed. They have 2 registers running. There's 6 people. I was the only person in the Quick Trip. And shout out to Dana, the manager. She was there. She got to work. She was running the place. So I go to the roller bar grill thing, not expecting. There were no donuts there, by the way. The donuts didn't get there yet. I don't even know if they were going to get there. But the roller grill was full. And I text Jennifer. I'm like, how many taquitos do you want? She didn't text me back until I had put like 40 in a bunch of bags. So I got taquitos, I got corn dogs, I got the pancake sausage roll-ups, and I didn't feel guilty because there was no one else there. I'm like, these are going to go bad anyway.
Right,
I got
that's a good
sausage roll, and I got Graham's freaking extra large Diet Coke, but there was nobody on the road in Quick Trip, which was like a movie. Like an apocalyptic movie, The Day After Tomorrow. I've never seen a Quick Trip completely empty. 3 a.m, there's people in there. It was just me and the workers. So I get there, and I get on the interstate, and to Natalie Dale and the DOT's credit, 85 was fine. People were going slower than normal, which was good. There were definitely people on the interstate, but it was fine. There was some ice on the Beaufort Spring connector, but overall, once I got out of my neighborhood, it was no problem. Now, you live in Cobb County. You didn't get any snow.
I didn't get anything.
Nothing.
Not a drop.
So everything west of 85 was fine. No problems on the ride in?
No, I was more worried about when I got into town.
Sure.
So I texted Ovi, and then he texted Ashley. Ashley said, don't take Deering Road, because that's where I come up.
Yeah.
And so she was like, don't take Deering, take 17th. And I was 16th. And I was like, okay, cool. So and once I got on the highway, I went a little slow, but it was, they did a great job.
Good. Well, you're stoic. Deborah, any snow or any problems for you?
We had some flurries in the afternoon, but nothing stuck.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything until I got off the exit for Sidney Marcus. That is where I saw something on the side of the road.
Okay.
And little patches of ice on the Beaufort Spring connector, but like coming all the way down, it was dry. I was speeding. It was fine.
It was dry. I was speeding. So, that was it. If you were east or north of 85, you got it. I was considerably worried I wasn't going to get out of my neighborhood. And it was so fine. Vinny Bag of Donuts got in early. That tells you how light and easy it was, the traffic was. But so firsthand, if you are in neighborhoods east of I-85, be warned, because the DOT doesn't handle the side streets. They don't handle my drive, my neighborhood roads. It's up to the local jurisdictions there. But once you get onto the state roads, they've done a great job. So, again, second winter storm in a row. DOT's really done an amazing... And Peachtree Street. You could eat off of Peachtree Street right now. It was so clean. There was nothing going on there. Fantastic stuff. We've reached out to the mayor. Hopefully he'll come on and update what's going on in the city of Atlanta with the winter weather. We're going to go live to New Orleans. 8 inches of snow in the Big Easy. That is insane. When we come back, though, yesterday, the first full day of the second Trump presidency. We're going to check in with White House correspondent Karen Travers. Next, Scott Slade joins us live at 10:35. And 2 giveaways today. Tickets to see Willie Nelson and the 5K Day bonus splits. Going to give you that keyword around 10:12 a.m. right here on The Mark Arum Show.
Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus, the highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus, siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
It's just not normal, friends. The pain caused from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it's become your new normal. Short-term fixes not working. Make the decision now to say, no, not going to live with that. It's Mark Arum back with you. Get moving again in 2025 with help from my friends at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine, using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. I want you to call QC Kinetics right now for a free consultation. Deal with joint pain now so you can make the most of the new year. Call QC Kinetics, friends. 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, a Delta classical concert featuring returning guest conductor Vasily Petrenko, presenting Belshazzar's Feast with the ASO Chorus. This spectacular 20th century oratorio features Grammy-winning bass baritone Nathan Berg, conjuring pagan rivalry, cataclysm, and rejoicing in a jazz-inspired score. Petrenko opens the concert with Sibelius's Romantic First Symphony, February 13th and 15th at Symphony Hall. Details at aso.org.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. Our top story this half hour, another morning around Metro Atlanta with well below freezing temperatures and with many spots slowed by icy roads, especially on the south and east sides of town. Georgia DOT urges all drivers to stay off icy roads if possible while crews work to clear them. Difficult road conditions we're seeing around town also forcing MARTA to temporarily suspend service.
Trains, yes. Bus and streetcar, no. That's the current status of operations for MARTA, the agency suspending bus and streetcar service until conditions improve. Rail service is running, but MARTA says operator availability will limit their operations there as well. They're urging customers to allow for extra time in their travel plans. They say you can get updates at itsmarta.com or on the MARTA On The Go app. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Today also expected to be a busy one at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport with travelers just trying to get home after Tuesday's winter weather causes hundreds of delays and cancellations. Airport spokesman Andy Gobeil says they are ready to go.
The airfield is open. All 5 runways are open. All of our taxiways are open. We have prepped and cleared the roadways leading into the airport as well. So the infrastructure here at the airport is working just fine.
But be ready for some extra delays today and try to arrive up to 3 hours early, he says. Lower North Security Checkpoint has also been closed most of this morning. As for issues with flights, FlightAware reporting more than 350 delayed flights out of Hartsfield-Jackson Airport so far today, almost 300 cancellations. We've watched those numbers continue to go higher through the morning. They will probably likely continue in that direction throughout the day. For a second time in less than a week, Georgia reports a case of bird flu at a commercial facility. And just like last week, this one is in Elbert County. State Ag Commissioner Tyler Harper.
It is critical that we work to address this, contain this, and eradicate this as quickly as possible, and that's what our team is working to do.
Now, he says this outbreak does not mean the chicken in stores is dangerous. In fact, no avian flu has shown up in poultry products so far. But these 2 cases of bird flu caused Georgia to suspend all poultry activities in the state. Netflix announces it closed out last year with its biggest quarterly subscriber gain in history. And that is not necessarily good news for customers.
Squid Game and live sporting events played a role in a blockbuster fourth quarter. Netflix added nearly 19 million customers in the final 3 months of last year, and for all of 2024, netted 41 million new subscribers. But you're going to pay more for Netflix. The most popular U.S. plan will cost $17.99 a month, an increase of $2.50. The cheaper ad-supported plan is also getting a price hike. I'm Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti for 95.5 WSB.
Now, those big numbers from Netflix were supposed to kind of drive the numbers up for the NASDAQ. And at 9:33, as we check your money, it's exactly what has happened as the markets opened here on a Wednesday. NASDAQ opens up more than 200 points. That's about 1 full percent. S&P is also up, and the Dow is up about 70 points right now. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Start the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Mike Shields.
And Judd, the best rule today is if you don't have to be on the roads and you saw snow yesterday, stay off them. The real issues are all the secondary streets, the neighborhoods, and they're going to remain icy throughout the day due to temperatures. Better news if you're coming up from central Georgia trying to get into Locust Grove. Long-standing, hours-long crash involving multiple tractor trailers. 75 northbound Johnsonville Road exit 193. Some lanes have started to reopen, but still jammed out of Forsyth. And once again, if you don't have to be on the roads, stay off of them. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies, but cold today. High 36. Lows tonight back down to the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, morning low 24, afternoon high 42.
Just 17 degrees right now in Canton, 20 in Locust Grove, 20 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
Yo, I just won $1,000 from WSB.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
Thank you, Jesus. What's that?
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 10.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
On 95.5 WSB.
You know, it's just something we don't see very regularly here. You know how it is down here in the South. You know, it don't take much for us to kind of
the business and things.
That's a man in Selma, Alabama. Up to 10 inches of snow across the southeast. We'll continue our winter weather coverage. But coming up next, we go to the White House. Update the Trump presidency 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, Belinda here, and I have Barry Petrie, Director of Virtual Imaging. Barry has a very interesting testimonial I want him to share with our listeners. Barry, tell us your story.
Belinda, I'm 55. I'm in good shape. I work out every day and took this job about a year ago. Unfortunately, I started having some symptoms about 3 or 4 months ago, so I decided to scan myself. Learned that I had a very high calcium score, and especially most of that was in my LAD, which you know is the Widowmaker. Long story short, I had my first stent put in about 6 weeks ago at Northside, and I feel great. I did not realize that I had lost a gear, and I've got that gear back. And I would have been one of those people that probably would have dropped dead looking perfectly healthy at 60 if I had not taken this role and did that scan.
Oh, wow. Folks, that story hits home. What are you waiting for? Go to Virtual Imaging and get a complimentary heart scan with few minimum requirements for you and your spouse. Call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or visit virtualimagingatl.com.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
As Georgia's homegrown leader in business insurance, Builders partners with thousands of local businesses to safeguard workers and help them return to their lives after injuries. Explore reliable workers' compensation solutions at BLDRS.com. Builders, insurance built strong.
The tour guide swore that it wasn't going to snow, and if it snowed, there's no way it was going to stick. As soon as it hit the ground, it was going to melt, and so I guess he was wrong.
That's a tourist from Australia visiting the French Quarter. 8 inches of snow in the Big Easy. Coming up in the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to go live to New Orleans. Katie Weiss reported there. We'll get us caught up to date on what's going on Bourbon Street. Remarkable snowstorm that the Southeast got whacked like that. Half of metro area got something. South Georgia gets whacked. The Florida Panhandle gets whacked. Just unbelievable meteorological event. Christina Edwards, of course, will let us know when we warm up. Currently 22 frigid degrees on Peachtree Street. Winter weather coverage throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. I do want to update the first full day of the second Trump presidency. Joining us from the nation's capital, ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, good morning. First full day for President Trump, and he did not hold back a number of bold initiatives, executive actions. Let's start with artificial intelligence, a big, bold initiative he wants to push forward. What can you tell us?
It is, yeah. He announced yesterday, or he was touting, I should say, this joint venture between three different tech companies. This is OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle. These companies have already been working on this. I should say OpenAI has been working on this venture, Stargate, for a couple of months. But the companies have come together to say that they're going to invest at least $100 billion in the computing infrastructure that would power artificial intelligence. They're going to continue building these big facilities down in Texas, data centers that would power AI. And Stargate, they say, could eventually invest as much as $500 billion into this effort over the next 4 years. They also open it up to other investors to join in on this. But for now, it's $100 billion in this effort to power AI. President, of course, was very eager to tout this and talk about what he wants to do to make the United States competitive against China in this area of technology. But again, it's not federal government money that's going into this. And also, this was an effort that was underway before he took office on Monday.
Oh, so that $500 billion that he touted, that's not taxpayer money. That's going to be the investment from those big three companies. Okay. And Stargate?
It is. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming a reference to the movie, the
sci-fi
movie?
They didn't say yesterday, but I certainly had a lot of emails in my inbox saying, wait a minute, is that because of the movie? But that was not part of the announcement yesterday.
Gotcha. So, the Trump 2.0, as I've been calling it, talking about a large reconciliation bill. Obviously, you got to fund all these projects. What's the status of that, and can we see bipartisan cooperation on a bill like that?
We'll see. I mean, this is the big effort, similar to what we saw in 2017, where the Biden administration, said, here are our priorities. Like that was infrastructure for them and other, domestic policy spending issues. For the Trump administration, he has said energy policy, border and immigration policy, and tax policy are their big issues. And they want to try to get a piece of legislation together as quickly as possible. Now, it's going to take time. This is not something that happens overnight. And there's a question about how they put it together. The easier way, in theory, would be like do it all at once, get it in one big bill, because they have such slim majorities in the House Senate. It's going to be difficult to try and corral everybody in the Republican caucus. But a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about this legislation, and it's going to take a lot of negotiating to get it across the finish line. So this is going to be something that you and I will be talking about now over the next couple of months.
Karen, I want to pick your brain. I mean, we're only into the day 3 of the second Trump term, but there's been a lot of huge headlines already coming out of the administration. Birthright citizenship comes to mind. Tariffs come to mind. From your perspective, covering the White House for so long, what do you think the biggest headline thus far has been?
I think, it's all of that together under the big umbrella of, the flurry of action. Like this is what he said he would do when he was a candidate, promising a flurry of executive actions and doing a lot right out of the gate. And that's what they're doing. Now, how much of this gets challenged and held up in court, how much of it actually has legs and actually makes an impact, we're still working through a lot of that, but they certainly have made a big burst of activity the top priority over the last 48 hours.
Final question for you, Karen. How did you spend Inauguration Day?
Oh, I was here in my little windowless closet in the White House from dark till dark. We were just saying here, my colleagues, like we kind of haven't seen daylight over the last couple of days. Like we go outside for our television hits too, but it has been around the clock since basically Sunday.
were you in the Oval when Trump was signing those executive orders and held that impromptu presser? That was remarkable.
I was in there on Monday night. It was 48 minutes was my audio recording I was the radio pooler in there. So it's a little tricky to hold up that boom mic for 48 minutes while also trying to take notes. But we got it done and got a lot of questions into him on day one.
Yeah, that was remarkable to hear all those questions. Got way more out of that than we did the inaugural address. Karen, I know you got to run. Karen Travers, ABC at the White House. Thanks as always for your time.
Have a great day. Thanks.
I'm so glad that Karen was in the Oval Office for that 48-minute impromptu press conference. I want one of those every week. Give me one of those every week. Good stuff. We're going to head back to D.C. next segment. John Decker is going to join us about the tariffs. President Trump basically giving a February 1st deadline to our neighbors to the north and south, Mexico and Canada, where he's going to start implementing a 25% across-the-board tariff on our neighbors for every product that is being imported to the United States. So John Decker is going to join us from D.C. with that. I do want to talk about the nomination process, which is going on. Scott Slade is going to join us live at 10:35 and really give us in-depth coverage on the number of Georgians that will be making up the second Trump term. And one of those confirmation hearings yesterday was Doug Collins, Pete Hegseth, right? So aside from the Matt Gaetz nomination, the most troubled one for the second Trump term was Pete Hegseth. And you go back 90 days, it looked like Hegseth there was no way he was going to get there. Joni Ernst was a maybe. Then he had his confirmation hearing. Matt Gaetz took a lot of the friendly fire. So it seemed like there would be an easier path for Hegseth to get his nomination confirmed. New reporting today, though, CBS News has reviewed an affidavit sent to members of the Senate Armed Services Committee by the former sister-in-law of Pete Hegseth. So his ex-wife's sister-in-law. President Trump's, of course, nominee to become Secretary of Defense, in which she relates stories of abuse told to her by Hegseth's ex-wife. CBS News reporter Torianne Small has more.
Danielle Hegseth, the former wife of Pete Hegseth's brother. So this in-law coming forward with this information that she's purporting to be pretty damaging. She, in this affidavit, laid out instances of her perception of abuse from him to his wife at the time, Samantha Hegseth, and also instances of public drunkenness. She said in this, during the period of 2014 to 2016, she experienced some pretty significant, or was told about some significant incidents.
All right, so that was a sworn affidavit by Hegseth's former sister-in-law. Now, to be clear, his ex-wife says there was no abuse. Will this affidavit make any difference in the Senate confirmation hearing? We won't know until the vote is taken. So we're monitoring the confirmations. Do want to update you on the wildfires, what's going on in the Mideast, and obviously the big local story. Half the metro area, the northeastern half, got whacked with winter storms. The west side was okay. If you're watching live at WSBRadio.com over my shoulder, you can see the snow-covered WSB Radio courtyard. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Quick break when we come back to the nation's capital. What's going to happen with tariffs in the Trump administration? That's next on The Mark Arum Show.
When the weather is at its worst,
the first flakes started to fly around 3 o'clock, and then they became heavy between 3:30 and about 5:30.
We're at our best.
Remote learning in Rockdale County, Clayton, DeKalb, City of Decatur, Fulton County, and Gwinnett County.
Tune in often for the latest.
560 delays at the world's busiest airport and 250 cancellations.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about the hassle of constant cleaning and making costly repairs. With a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, you can receive an all-cash offer and move when you're ready. There are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. With over 12,500 five-star reviews, you can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home stress-free and for the most money. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties are just $1.49 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter for BeTheYoungerYouATL.com. I need you, ladies and gentlemen, to call this number right now, 770-415-3000. Schedule a free consultation and receive a complimentary advanced body composition analysis. You need to be on this program. It's a weight loss program that works. It's worked for me, and everybody tells me they see it. I've lost the weight and kept it off. Listen, you need to know what's going on inside your body. It's easy to lose the weight and keep it off only with the BeTheYoungerYouATL.com weight loss program. But you know what's not easy? To see what's going on the inside. And what's going on the inside is high visceral fat levels, just like I had before I joined the BeTheYoungerYouATL.com weight loss program. Please go to BeTheYoungerYouATL.com right now or call 770-415-3000.
9:49 on the Mark Arum Show. Ice Patrol, I guess we'll call this go around live to the 24-hour traffic center. Here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, unfortunately, not hard to find ice really anywhere in the metro. That's why the great reminder continues to be stay off the roads if you don't have to be. The interstates overall across Metro Atlanta in good shape. Getting to them's the issue. Like in Noonan, Highway 34, the ramp to I-85 northbound remains shut down hours later after a tractor trailer's gone sideways with icing on that ramp. You can always use Poplar Road as a way to avoid that and get on to I-85 northbound. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
It is not my hope to challenge every single thing. The president has broad scope and power. That is his right as elected president. But when it violates the law and harms Washingtonians, we will not shy from bringing a new case.
That is Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown talking about Donald Trump's birthright citizenship executive order facing its first legal text in a Seattle courtroom tomorrow. 4 states, Arizona, Illinois, Oregon, and Washington, want a federal judge to issue a temporary restraining order against Trump's intention. I just don't think, of all the bold initiatives that the president wants to get forward, I think that is the most likely to fail. The birthright citizenship, already facing court battles. I think it's long established by the Supreme Court. You're born here. You are a resident here. Let's continue our coverage of the Trump presidency. Joining us live from the nation's capital, correspondent John Decker. All right, day 3 of the Trump presidency. On the campaign trail, one of the biggest issues that candidate Trump was pushing were the possibility of tariffs imposed in his second term. Looks like he is not holding back on those. What's the situation with tariffs today and moving forward? President Trump was not shy on the campaign trail, John, about discussing the tariffs he would implement if reelected. He was reelected. Day 3 now of the second Trump term. What's the situation with tariffs now and moving forward?
Well, that's right. And what he has done is he's spoken about a deadline to impose those tariffs on Mexico and Canada in particular. What he's talking about, 25% trade tariffs on Mexico and Canada. The deadline is February the 1st. And I think what he wants to do, put pressure on Mexico and Canada to essentially renegotiate that multilateral trade agreement between the U.S., Mexico, and Canada that was signed during Donald Trump's first term in the White House.
Now, we thought, on the campaign trail that the threat of tariffs was more of a negotiation tool. Is that what's coming to fruition right here?
Well, Donald Trump denies that, but I do think that plays a part, certainly. As far as China is concerned, what Donald Trump has spoken about in the imposition of at least 10% trade tariffs on China. Now, keep in mind, it's not a one-way street. If tariffs are imposed on those goods coming from Mexico, from Canada, from China, from the European Union, perhaps, that's another possibility for more tariffs, there will be retaliatory tariffs on American items. And there are many Republican senators who will tell you that was not good for their states. One example, the Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. In his state, the headquarters of Harley Davidson, retaliatory tariffs were placed on Harley Davidsons coming in to Europe, and that hurt that company quite a bit during Donald Trump's first term in office.
John Decker joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. For clarification purposes, how do tariffs work, John, and ultimately who pays them?
Well, ultimately, the cost of those tariffs is then passed along to consumers. So the tariffs are placed upon the companies that are importing goods into the United States. And of course, any company wants to make certain that they have a profit margin. And that's the reason why the cost of those tariffs are passed along to U.S. consumers. Most economists will tell you tariffs are not good for the economies of any state that or any country that imposes them. That bore itself out during Donald Trump's first term in office. And there are Republicans who are telling the president, I think that those complaints are falling on deaf ears, but they're telling the president, don't impose tariffs in term number 2 because it's going to hurt my state's economy. But again, I think Donald Trump's going to do what Donald Trump's going to do.
If the tariffs are implemented, it's counterintuitive to another big campaign promise that Trump had, which was to lower the cost of goods in the United States to bring down inflation. I am certainly not an economist, but it doesn't seem that increased tariffs will bring down the inflationary rate at all.
No, there certainly are economists that are very well respected that speak of tariffs are as inflationary and problematic for an economy. So, yeah, if Donald Trump's focus, and he says it is, lowering the cost on food, on energy here in the U.S., tariffs may be counterproductive if indeed Donald Trump goes down that road.
All right, so we have a February 1st, self-imposed deadline for tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada. What kind of goods and services might be affected? What do we import from Mexico and Canada?
Well, certainly there's a lot in terms of auto parts that come from Mexico, and there's also a big auto assembly industry that is in Mexico as well. The costs of those would then be applied to those products coming into the U.S. As it relates to Canada, you're talking about lumber, you're talking about agriculture products, sometimes the very, maybe not in Atlanta, but for a lot of the country, the tomatoes that they import are coming from Canada, but there's other agriculture products as well. And those are the products we're talking about that would face those tariffs.
All right, we'll wait and see what the tariff situation is. John, as always, appreciate your time. Stay warm, my friend.
Yeah, you too, Mark. Thanks so much. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
John Decker in the nation's capital as we continue our coverage. Just the third day of the Trump presidency. Already a lot of moving parts, a lot of bold initiatives. And as I said yesterday, in case you missed it, there's no doubt President Trump swinging for the fences, right? I mean, he's up there taking his cuts, trying to hit a home run. But as baseball fans know, sometimes when you try to hit a home run, you wind up striking out. And I know it's only 3 days in, and I'm not making a prediction, but I think the two logical outcomes of the second Trump term is it's one of the most successful 4-year terms of a presidency, a.k.a. he hits the ball out of the park, or option B is he swings and misses on a lot of things and winds up striking out. I don't think there's going to be anything in the middle when people look back on this second Trump term. He's swinging for the fences. I do give him credit for that. How many home runs will he hit? How many whiffs will he take? Speaking of baseball, Andrew Jones did not make it into the Hall of Fame, but I looked at the ballot next year, Longoria, and Andrew's got 2 years left on the Hall of Fame ballot. There are no real big name inductees or names that are going to join the ballot. I think next year he gets in. Ichiro got in. Of course, one schmezball, only one person didn't vote for him. Would have been unanimous, but one sports writer, we don't know who yet, left him off the ballot. Former Braves closer Billy Wagner got in. CC Sabathia got in. What troubled me was, and he's a local kid, Braves legend Brian McCann, I think is eventually getting to the Hall of Fame. He did not get the 5% of the vote needed to stay on the ballot. So he's one and done on the ballot. Now it'll be up to the Veterans Committee years down the road to decide whether BMAC gets in the Hall of Fame. I think he deserves to be. People are saying his last 2 years with the Astros have tainted his legacy.
Whatever.
That's what people are saying. People are saying. Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic comeback update, the Trump presidency, and the severe winter weather across the Southeast next on The Mark Arum Show. Another round of Arctic temperatures and another reason to remind you to get storm-ready Wi-Fi for your household. Hey, it's Mark Arum back for my friends at Xfinity. Storm-ready Wi-Fi. Storm-ready Wi-Fi. Be prepared. No matter what the storm life brings, storm-ready Wi-Fi will keep you online during network and power outages with unlimited cellular data and up to 4 hours of battery backup. 4 hours of battery backup with storm-ready Wi-Fi. It automatically switches to a 4G LTE backup cellular network during the outages. It sets up in minutes, and you can receive real-time outage updates through the Xfinity app. Plus, it helps extend Wi-Fi and eliminate dead spots even when you're not in an outage. Get storm-ready Wi-Fi. Be prepared, friends. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store near you today. Be prepared. Do not get caught off guard. Get storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, Xfinity.com, or call 1-800-XFINITY.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Football season and True Atlanta Fashion Renters Warehouse going big by stuffing 24 football puns in one ad. Hope your radio's got good reception, folks. Now huddle up and listen to their pitch. If you manage your own rental property, time out, time to sack yourself and bring in backups, because giving the ball to Renters Warehouse Atlanta a much better option. Tired of fumbling around, playing defense, and penalizing your family by working overtime? They've got the playbook for success. So just hand off your property management to them and kick back while they tackle the grunt work. Their special teams know how to handle the details and help you avoid the unnecessary roughness of managing a rental. They'll screen your tenants, make sure you receive the rent on time, and help you move maintenance calls to the sidelines. One extra point: once you see how Renters Warehouse Atlanta makes property management a snap, your happiness will spike. Don't take a knee. Take control. Go to rwatlanta.com today or call 404-662-2322. That's 404-662-2322. And that is good for Renters Warehouse Atlanta.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hi there, good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. Our top story, of course, is the weather. A historic winter storm dumping snow in some areas around the metro. Others got nothing. What we all got, though, freezing temperatures.
I had to get the long johns on. I had to go back in the house and regroup. The wind chill makes it worse.
Now, in the areas that did get snow, the roads may be slick this morning. The Georgia Department of Transportation's Natalie Dale says while interstates are in good shape,
those interchanges and those on and off ramps, that's where you're still going to see the problems in the southern part of the perimeter.
And she says the worst issues statewide appear to be in the Macon area.
We're seeing issues with commercial vehicles that are jackknifed. When we have a jackknife tractor trailer, we have to tow it. We have to get it out of the way. Those are hours that we lose on treating and retreating the road.
And this winter storm is keeping state troopers very busy. The Georgia Department of Public Safety saying it's responded to more than 560 calls since 6 o'clock last night. And that includes more than 100 traffic crashes, more than 100 drivers asking for help. There are lingering impacts from this winter weather down at the airport this morning.
Hundreds of flights have been canceled and delayed at the airport today, and that's after extensive cancellations yesterday.
Usually Wednesdays, midweek, and this time of year isn't too busy. But with the cancellations and the delays across the country yesterday, people who were here will be traveling.
Airport spokesman Andy Gobiel tells WSB passengers should arrive about 3 hours early to be safe. He says the airfield itself is operating as normal with no issues with ice. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Also, the Lower North Security Checkpoint is closed. Well, this rare storm brings snow and ice to places that rarely, if ever, sees it.
This is absolutely crazy.
There's snow in the Sunshine State, as we hear now from Trevor Ault.
Interstate 10 in Pensacola, Florida, shutting down. Officials warning in northern Florida streets could be snow-covered for days. At least 10 storm-related deaths, 3 from the exposure to the Arctic air. Beaches in Alabama blanketed in snow instead of sand.
And in Louisiana, they had the first ever blizzard warning there. Icy conditions shutting down the world's longest bridge over water. The French Quarter has 8 inches of snow this morning. It's going to be sunny here this afternoon with a high around 36, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast right around the corner. This is new this morning. A second commercial poultry flock here in Georgia has now tested positive for avian flu. This one is also in Elbert County. This is the second detection of avian flu in a commercial poultry flock in our state and the 6th detection overall since the nationwide outbreak started back in 2022. Tyler Harper is Georgia's ag commissioner. He says that you need to know that the chicken that you buy in the store is safe.
And I think the reason folks need to have confidence in that is because of the rigorous inspection standards that we have for the safety of our food supply, and the fact that no infected birds have entered the food supply chain.
And on Friday, all poultry activities were suspended in our state after bird flu was confirmed in that first commercial poultry operation. Also in Elbert County, poultry is a more than $30 billion industry here in Georgia. Netflix is going to be raising their prices. This is the second time they've done it since October. It's going from $6.99 to $7.99, and then the ad-free will go up to $17.99 a month. Netflix added a record 19 million subscribers in the fourth quarter, pushing its total over 300 million. And Wall Street's opening with stocks much higher. Techstars stocks have been boosted after President Trump announced an investment of billions into artificial intelligence. As we take a look at the markets now, the Dow is currently up 100 106 at 44,132. NASDAQ is up more than a full percent, and the S&P's up more than 0.5%. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Mark McKay joining us now with a look at the roads.
Heard about Natalie Dale just there, Sabrina, talking about how Middle Georgia's been hammered trying to get into Metro Atlanta. That includes that busy I-75 corridor, which is crawling at best out of Troup County, working towards Spalding and Locust Grove. South side, I-85 all morning long. The jam cam has shown a tractor trailer that's not moved, meaning the ramp is still shut down from Bowlesboro Road, Highway 34, trying to get onto I-85. Worst if it in Metro Atlanta is going to be the surface streets, the untreated areas in the neighborhoods around and inside of I-285. Smile and Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly sunny today, but still frigid with a high of 36. Lows tonight back down into the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Another cold start on Friday, morning low 24. Daytime high 42 with a partly cloudy sky.
It is 21 degrees right now in Johns Creek. Peachtree City, you have 20 degrees. And out in Jefferson, it's 23 this morning. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Wednesday morning to you. Mark Arum here. You there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. The whole family with us today. Deborah Green, the executive producer of the show. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Bag of Donuts screens your calls in just mere minutes. I'm going to give you the keyword in the WSB 5K a day bonus blitz. So just a few minutes away, I'll give you the keyword. You have until 10:30 a.m. to enter the keyword under the WSB radio app. One lucky listener will win $1,000. Imagine winning $1,000 and you're at home, you're not even working, you get the day off, and I just line your pockets with 10 C notes. That could happen to you in just a couple of minutes. 11 o'clock hour, Deborah's got tickets to see Willie Nelson, the legend. And, of course, we're going to continue our winter weather coverage throughout the broadcast, throughout the day here on 95.5 WSB. Earlier in the show, we had Natalie Dale on from the Department of Transportation. South Georgia, coastal Georgia, middle Georgia got it much worse than we did here in the metro area. Some folks listening didn't get a single snowflake. I was pretty much iced in this morning. Longoria had nothing. Your daughters were very upset.
They were very disappointed.
No sledding, no snowmen, nothing. So some of us got lucky. Some of us got frozen. We're all cold, though, 26 degrees. I just asked Christina Edwards in the break room, like, Chrissy, when are we going to thaw out? She says, we'll hit the 40s by Thursday. But the concern is the lows drop down below freezing in the morning. So we're going to have a freeze-refreeze kind of situation. Christina's fine-tuning her 5-day forecast. We'll have an update at the bottom of the hour. And in about 10 minutes, we're going to go live to New Orleans. Reporter Katie Weiss is going to join us. The Big Easy. 8 inches of snow. That's insane to me. Did your mom get any snow in Corpus?
Nah, we got a little ice and that was it.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah,
but Houston, whacked with snow. They don't have a single snow plow in the whole city.
I bet.
Yeah.
Why would you need one?
You think they'd have one?
Like an old one in the back,
just
like
something
behind a barn somewhere.
Just
bring that one out.
Now, one of the main differences of, and I'm not saying, I'm not taking a holier than thou approach to this, because I'm the idiot that didn't buy a snow shovel after the last snowstorm to shovel out I'm an idiot. I'll say that without reservation. I'm dumb. And I'm not saying this because I grew up in New England, but I grew up in New England. And one of the benefits of growing up in New England, it's not so much that, all right, how many snow plows does the city have? Like, I don't know how many snow plows the town of Torrington had growing. I don't know. They had an ample amount. But what helped us out is every Tom, Dick, and Harry that had a pickup truck also had a snow plow on front. That was their side hustle. You know, we had a guy, I can't remember his name, lived down the street, and, he was on retainer. Every time it snowed, he would plow my parents' driveway, and I don't even know what they paid him. If you're listening, Mom, hit me on the Piccadilly text line. What did you pay that guy? That
paid him in lobster.
I don't know. That would be funny. That would be very funny. But he would come, and so even if the city couldn't get to your side street, 2 or 3 people in your neighborhood had snowplows in the front of their trucks. So it was able to, but I mean, obviously we don't have that here. Maybe moving forward, if we keep getting the snow, You got a pickup truck.
We'll get the station. We'll put a logo on it, WSB logo on it.
Yeah.
I'll drive around the city, plow anybody.
Because I don't know, with inflation, what would you pay to have your driveway completely plowed out?
Oh, that'd be, yeah. I'd pay, I mean, I don't know what the going rate is, but I'd drop $100 on it.
$100. That's what I was thinking too. Like $100. I got a small. You probably have a really long palatial.
No. It's pretty small.
So
but
maybe
it is hilly. It has a hill on it. So.
Maybe going ahead in the future, more folks in the South will get those snow plows in the front of trucks, and that's a good side hustle. By the way, the IRS is going to whack us for side hustles starting next year. We got to get Sanjay on, the official accountant of the Mark Arum Show. Apparently, so I sell baseball cards on eBay. And up until now, if you sold less than $20,000 worth of cards or whatever you sell on eBay, you don't get taxed on it. That's all changing. Apparently, and I never sold over $20,000 for the cards on eBay, but now they've decreased the threshold to $600. If you make $600 on your side hustle, whatever that might be, you are now going to get a 1099 for that. You're going to be taxed on your side hustle. Whether it's Longoria's homemade empanadas,
I'm selling Lego,
or selling Legos, yeah. Do you sell them on eBay or whatnot? Or
yeah, I mean,
yeah. So now it's $600. Vinny's making beats for people as your side hustle. You're going to get taxed for that now. So anyway, what was I talking about? Side hustles. Yes.
Yeah, side hustles. Plowing side hustles.
Maybe moving forward, that becomes a thing here because you can make some serious money, especially like my neighborhood. If we could have had the street plowed so it wasn't a sheet of ice, every homeowner kicks in a 50 ball. That's like $2,000 for whoever could have taken care of that. Yeah. Anyway, if you're looking for a side hustle moving forward, might I recommend?
Put a plow on you.
Put a plow on
your truck.
I don't know what the upfront cost is on a, and I don't even know if there's anyone with the hitch house. Could the hitch house do it? They just put hitches on. My favorite commercial of all time was O'Neill Williams, Outdoor with O'Neill Outdoors, and he'd do those commercials early on the weekend morning. The Hitch House. I think they're still fun.
We still run them every once in a while.
I'm still waiting for my mom on the Piccadilly text line to know how much they paid the guy to plow our driveways. Anyway, all right, we're gonna update the winter weather when we come back. Quick break. We're gonna go live to New Orleans, talk to reporter Katie Weiss there. Much more on the Trump transition and who are the highest paid state employees in Georgia. I'll run down the list, some surprising names on this. But let's give away some money. It's the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. 10 a.m. keyword is Bill. B-I-L-L, like Bill Caiaccio. You don't have to spell Caiaccio. I don't know how to spell that. Enter the keyword Bill, B-I-L-L, into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 10:30 to enter the keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is Bill, B-I-L-L. Good luck.
When the weather is at its worst,
we do have areas here in the metro region that got relatively hit hard by a burst of snow.
We're at our best.
Steve Reynolds Boulevard, several cars being abandoned because of the ice.
Tune in often for the latest.
An FAA ground delay has been issued for Hartsfield-Jackson with an average delay of 81 minutes.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
Heavy rains have recently impacted widespread areas of North Georgia. How did your roof hold up? Heavy rains expose roof leaks that can lead to water damage. Schedule a free roof analysis from Dave Baker, trusted and recommended, FindlayRoofing.com. Roof.
With MSC Cruises, discover big on a mini getaway or treat yourself to a week-long vacation. For a limited time, book now and enjoy up to 35% off cruises, plus kids sail free. Sail to the turquoise waters of the Bahamas with stops at our private island, Ocean Key MSC Marine Reserve, or experience the beauty of the Caribbean and more destinations. MSC Cruises for a greater beauty. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
Income for a lifetime for you and your family after you've left the workforce. Many retirees harness the power of income investing to give themselves peace of mind and create a consistent income stream from their retirement savings. Income investing uses many different forms of cash flow, including rent, royalties, dividends, distributions, and interest. This is what we focus on here at Capital Investment Advisors. You can find us at yourwealth.com. That's YOUR wealth.com.
Okay, picture this. You wake up and ask yourself, why can't I see my breath?
Why is my dog next to me my only source of heat? Oh, your feet hit the ground. Chills take over as you realize your heat's not on. First you panic, you fill up a swear jar. Then you remember that Castile Air commercial about experts being there the same day for any problems, and how Castile has hassle-free HVAC financing options with flexible payment options to fit your budget. You stop panicking and realize your swear jar will cover the visit. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. I recently had 2 sets of customers who had vastly different stories. One had purchased elsewhere 3 years ago and spent $5,000. And the other had purchased from OMF 12 years ago and spent $1,000. The difference? Our customer's mattress lasted 4 times longer and cost them 5 times less. Don't waste money on overpriced, overhyped mattresses. Visit the Original Mattress Factory for unbeatable quality and value. Sleep better, longer, for less.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with a busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and it's simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. And no more rushing out for showings or constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home after you've settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
It's the 50th year of the Giant Atlanta Camping and RV Show. Georgia's largest showcase of new campers, travel trailers, and motorhomes. 4 days to shop, Thursday through Sunday, the 23rd through the 26th. Atlanta Expo Center, AtlantaRVShow.com.
JIC, Flat Face Seal, BSP, and DEN. If you know what these are, then listen up.
I'm Victoria Holloway. We can replicate hose assembly on site with Mobile Hydraulics of Georgia.
Call 770-HYD-HOSE or try our website, HYDHOSE.com.
10:17 on the Mark Arum Show, checking the ride through downtown. Back to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Smile and Mark McKay.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Yeah, we're watching a nice ride into and through the city, heading to Hartsfield. Give yourself some extra time. Wait times are back up this morning at TSA checkpoints, and the right sides of the connector north and southbound snow covered, as are many of the streets in Midtown Atlanta, the east side as well. And we have a traffic red alert rolling into Brazelton. I'm watching the jam cam. Big rig fire cleanup operation. No flames or smoke, but all lanes are shut down. 85 southbound before exit 50, exit 129, Highway 53. Use Highway 124 instead. This report sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. Smile and Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
There's just no words
to describe it. Snow on the beach. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought, says that resident of Gulf Shores, Alabama, as we continue our severe winter weather coverage here on the Mark Arum Show, dealing with a lot of snow in central and south Georgia, coastal Georgia, and maybe 2/5 of the metro area got snow and ice today, still trying to thaw out, but nothing compared to the historic snowfalls that we're seeing in the Big Easy. Joining us live from New Orleans, reporter Katie Weiss. Katie, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm hyper focused on what's going on here in the metro Atlanta area with weather, but then I saw the headline, 8 inches of snow reported in parts of New Orleans. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can. In fact, at last check yesterday evening, it was at 9 inches, truly an historic event here in the Big Easy. It is the most snowfall that the city has ever seen in recorded weather history.
Oh, wow. So legitimately a record-breaking snowfall. I would imagine, I mean, we're not really prepared here in Metro Atlanta. The DOT's done a great job on the roads, but I would imagine New Orleans way less prepared than a city like Atlanta might be for this.
Sure, of course. You know, I grew up in Mobile. I heard you play that soundbite from someone from Gulf Shores, and yeah, you know, Mobile's just a couple hours away from New Orleans, and all of these communities along the Gulf Coast, they are not well equipped for a winter weather event the way a northern city would be, because it's just not something that, you know, is a very needed infrastructure investment, you know, because it doesn't happen very often. So, but in these rare cases, the city is now having to utilize resources from other areas. In fact, the city has even hired an outside company based in Indiana to drive down 14 snow plows here to the Big Easy and plow the roads. Yep.
Well, that's smart thinking. You know, we think of, you know, mostly hurricanes or tornadoes here in the southeast, and you know, like when Milton or Helene ripped through Georgia and North Carolina, we see folks, linemen from Illinois or Indiana, come and help out. So it makes sense that when we have a severe winter weather event like that, we would look to our neighbors to the north for some help when it comes to getting rid of the ice and snow.
Absolutely, and it's been a godsend. We've seen many of the roads here already getting cleared, so kudos to the city officials for making that happen. They were able to hire that company through an emergency contract procurement. And we know that also they were able to tap into some resources from other areas as well to get some salt spreaders out. But still at this time, there's many roads that still are very icy, covered in thick layers of ice. I was just out and about, went over to the French Quarter this morning, and, you know, things look a little less like the party district that we're used to seeing at this time. I'll tell you that much.
Did you still see some randos, some stragglers on Bourbon Street, going to...
I mean, of course.
So at least some people are partying. Katie Weiss from CBS joining us live in New Orleans on the Mark Arum Show. How are the residents reacting to this? Are they excited, like, oh my goodness, this is a crazy snowfall? Or are they freaked out, like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
I think it's a little bit of both of those. You know, I've been talking with many of my neighbors over the last 24, 48 hours, and everybody has just been so impressed and amazed, shocked, surprised to see this much snowfall. I mean, 9 inches, that would be a lot even in a northern town. I used to live in Denver before moving back down here, and, you know, 9 inches was a big deal there. So to have that much here, I mean, that's past your ankles as you're walking along the sidewalk, you know. So people are just surprised and a little overwhelmed, and you know, they're trying to break out whatever random winter coats they might have in the very back of their closets. But we did see some funny videos of folks that people have shared around online of snowball fights on Bourbon Street, people even skiing along Bourbon. So people certainly are not, not taking this for granted. They're soaking in every minute.
I guess better now to have the record snowfall than a couple weeks from now when you guys are hosting the Super Bowl.
That's for sure. Hopefully we're going to get this out of Mother Nature's system, and by the time the Super Bowl comes in less than 3 weeks, I think it's about 2.5 weeks now away, hopefully by then we'll be back to normal Gulf Coast weather where it's 70 degrees outside in the middle of winter.
While I have you, since we're talking about the Super Bowl, if you don't mind, any updates on the terror attack that obviously rocked the world that happened in New Orleans?
Well, I appreciate you for asking about that. And, I think that really puts into context how difficult of a month this has been for the Big Easy. There's been a lot going on. So this weather storm truly adds a little insult to injury in terms of trying to advocate more resources, getting more, first responders out on the roads at a time when they were already recently very overwhelmed. But kudos to the city truly for stepping up. We know that the city was able to hire a outside consultant, a very well-respected security consultant, Bill Bratton, who was formerly the police chief for the city of New York and for the city of Boston and Los Angeles throughout his career, now works for a private firm that specializes in global cybersecurity and counterterrorism efforts. So he's definitely an expert in his field and is well equipped to help New Orleans get ready and prepared for the big event before them within the next 2.5 weeks. And those folks, really, the city officials have assured people we are doing everything we can to make sure that this event is the most secure event of the entire year.
Yeah, I mean, our hearts go out. New Orleans just can't catch a break. Obviously, historic snowfall is in a different category of that terrorist attack, but just know that we are still all thinking about you. Best of luck to you. Stay safe. Stay warm.
Thank you.
Oh, final question real quick. Do you know when we're going to get a thaw out in the Big Easy, when things will be all melted?
That's a great question. Well, as we speak today, I am watching the sun come up. It's becoming a beautiful blue sky, sunny day. In fact, I don't think I even see a single cloud in the sky at this hour. So that's certainly, I think, a silver lining on all of this. People are excited for the cold temperatures. Hopefully, they're expected to start warming up within the next couple of days. So we should be seeing some snow melting pretty soon here.
Gotcha. Katie, really appreciate your time. Thank you for the update. Stay safe. Katie Weiss, CBS News in New Orleans. 9 inches, Longoria. That's big anywhere.
Yeah.
In
that
Buffalo.
Be here.
Yeah, in Buffalo, you get 9 inches. That's huge. Great stuff. Obviously, we're going to continue the winter weather here in Metro Atlanta. We'll update Christina's forecast coming up in just a second. A reminder, though, your 10 a.m. keyword for the 5K Day Bonus Blitz is Bill, B-I-L-L, Bill. Enter the keyword Bill into the WSB Radio app or at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have just under 4 minutes to enter that keyword, win $1,000. The keyword is Bill, B-I-L-L. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:30 for a number you don't recognize, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Could be us telling you you won $1,000. 3 minutes away from news, weather, and traffic. Then Scott Slade joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com. Click on Portfolio X-Ray or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
Our farmers feed us all. For generations, they've done what's best for the land. So why is the litigation industry threatening Georgia farmers' go-to crop protection tool? Without glyphosate-based herbicides, crop yields will drop, costs will soar, and we'll all see even higher grocery bills. Farmers need to be supported, not controlled. To keep glyphosate available in our state, go to TakeControlGeorgia.com. Paid for by Modern Ag Alliance in support of Georgia farmers.
Coming up from the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, a Delta classical concert featuring conductor Vasily Petrenko conducting Belshazzar's Feast with the ASO Chorus. February 13th and 15th at Symphony Hall. Details at aso.org.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. Temperatures will not make it much higher than freezing today, so driving conditions will remain tricky.
We're not having a melt, and so we'll just keep retreating and plowing and treating some of these areas in Metro that we need to clear up.
Natalie Dill with the Georgia Department of Transportation says the interstates in Metro Atlanta are in pretty good shape, but treatments continue on interchanges and exit ramps where icy spots are still there. Side streets are handled by city and county road crews, and we're just getting word that DeKalb County has now declared a state of emergency there. The county saying 911 is getting hundreds of calls and at least 100 cars have been stranded because of the icy conditions in the county. They're urging folks in DeKalb to stay inside and off the roads during this winter storm. The Atlanta airport continues to deal with the impact of the weather.
Hartsfield-Jackson spokesman Andy Gobeil says pack your patience if you're flying today.
Normally we say get to the airport about 2.5 hours prior to departure. Today we're going to say 3 hours prior to departure, just to make sure everybody is here and ready to go on time.
FlightAware shows more than 300 flights were canceled there yesterday. Many of those passengers have shifted to flights today in response, but hundreds of new cancellations are reported today as well. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
With the exception of trains, MARTA services are suspended because of icy conditions.
Trains are operating on a weekend schedule, but MARTA advises operator availability may cause some additional delays. The transit agency is hoping to resume bus, streetcar, and mobility service if road conditions improve during the course of the day. They're also advising of some issues with their passenger alerts on X. They're asking customers to visit itsmarta.com or the MARTA On The Go app for updates. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so what can we expect weather-wise today? WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says it's going to be sunny but staying cold. Afternoon highs 36. We're going to be back in the teens and lower 20s tonight. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in just a matter of minutes. President Trump has declared a national emergency at the southern border, and while that may sound scary to some, it's music to the ears of law enforcement.
The morale right now is at an all-time high. I think now that we know that we have a strong ally at the federal level, which is something that we have not had in the last 4 years.
That's Lieutenant Chris Olivares with the Texas State Troopers. He says that they felt handcuffed by the last administration, which he says put a priority on asylum over stopping illegal immigration. President Trump used executive order to label cartels as terrorist organizations, which gives authorities more tools to deal with them. A transmission issue is prompting Jeep to recall about 63,000 older Jeeps. Jeff Gilbert has more on that.
The 2017 through 19 Jeep Cherokees can lose power. They're also at higher risk of rolling away while in park. There have been more than 1,100 reports of problems over 7 years, but no injuries or deaths. Jeep is still working on a fix to the problem.
All right, let's take a look at your money. The Dow right now is up 85 points at 44,111. NASDAQ is also up. It's up more than a full percent, and the S&P is up more than 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Mark McKay's in the WSB 24-hour traffic center with a look at the roads.
Still trying to thaw out the chilly roads, the icy and snowy roads across Metro Atlanta, with the exception of the west and northwest side. Once you get inside the city limits, still those surface streets, the crowded ones that are usually crowded are not this morning because a lot of folks are staying inside, but the ones that are yet to be treated or are shaded or any kind of hilly location in your neighborhood, you're going to be on a sheet of ice, so be aware of that. The interstates are in good shape here in Metro Atlanta, circling the city on I-285. No trouble I-20 east or westbound or headed to the airport. Gridlock alerts. They've just opened the left lane in Brazelton, rolling south on I-85 past a big rig fire. Cleanup 85 southbound before Highway 53, exit 129. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies but cold today, high 36. Lows tonight back down to the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, morning low 24, afternoon high 42.
WSB Storm Tracker radar is clear. We have sunny skies and 24 degrees in Sandy Springs. It's 25 in Riverdale. Commerce has 26 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
The news breaks.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
The story unfolds.
We will not forget our Constitution.
And it's a new day in America.
The United States of America will be a free, sovereign, and independent nation.
As each story breaks.
Drill, baby, drill.
We'll have it covered for you. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
They won't see this again for years. And for them to build the core memories that they are today, it's priceless.
Well, it's an Alabama man looking at the silver lining of the severe weather across the southeast. We'll see how Scott Slade fared through the winter weather. He joins us live next on the Mark Arum Show.
Bugs bugging you? Better call Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Jewelrygram. It's your friends at Shane Company, here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart, like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural rubies, colorful sapphires, and natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty and everyday competitive prices. Come visit us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey guys, it's Mark Arum back from my pals at Advanced Hair as we creep deeper into the new year. Did you finally resolve to take care of your hair issues? Whether it's thinning hair, bald spots, receding hairline, you can reverse years or even decades of hair loss with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment. This place is amazing. The facilities are top-notch. The doctors are the best in the biz. And the best part is your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and your new hair guaranteed to grow for life. Top-rated physicians like Dr. Tanya Pauls have changed tens of thousands of lives. Now it's your turn. Schedule your free consultation by calling 470-660-HAIR. And to celebrate the new year, get special financing, 250 free hair grafts, and $250 off. An amazing deal right now. That's 470-660-HAIR, or discover what meeting your resolution could look like before and after pictures online at advancedhair.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, we've grown by offering our clients more offices, more lawyers, and recovering more than $20 billion. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
10:37 on this warming Wednesday. An hour ago, it was 22 degrees in Midtown, now up to 28.5. Christina Edwards says thaw not expected till maybe Thursday, but then it's going to dip down. She will monitor the winter weather here in Metro Atlanta. 9 inches of snow fell in New Orleans, Scott Slade. 9 inches in New Orleans. That's like 67 inches in New York City. That's remarkable.
Just about enough to cover all the trash on Bourbon Street, isn't it?
Well, I had the reporter on last, and I said, were there still some drunk stragglers in the snow? And she said, absolutely. They were still partying down on Bourbon. Yeah. How did you fare out during the latest winter weather blast?
Well, I got some, probably quarter to a half an inch North Gwinnett County. And as we've been hearing in our traffic report saying, there's some areas now that are still hazardous driving, especially as you go further south to Metro Atlanta. So not bad. You know, the first thing that occurred to me when I took the dog out yesterday in the snow?
What's that?
He really needs a bath.
that would be a viral TikTok video. Scott Slade bathing his dog.
In the snow. No, I wouldn't do that to him, but it was so obvious. His base color is white, so it's like, oh man, I thought you looked better than that. Gee whiz.
It's all relative. I'm glad. Thanks for joining us today. Scott was scheduled to join us live yesterday, but then we had the press conference from the governor and the DOT commissioner. So Scott graciously postponed till this morning. So thanks so much for joining us live today, buddy.
Yeah, of course, no problem. There's certainly plenty to talk about here, and we'll dig into a couple of things here. It's been kind of fun to watch from the sidelines. And I got some numbers here for you this morning.
Okay.
99-0. What does that score mean to you? 99-0.
That's Marco Rubio's pitching a shutout.
Whew, that is for sure. And so far, this might amaze you, so far, that's the only confirmation vote for incoming Trump administration cabinet nominees. It's the only one. The vote delayed today for CIA Director nominee John Ratcliffe, which is prompting the Senate Majority Leader, Senator Thune, to say, all right, we'll work through Friday, we'll work through Saturday, we'll work through Sunday. We've got to get some more of these done. We'll watch that. Oh, another number for you, 44. That's the number of January 6th offenders with Georgia connections granted clemency by President Trump out of the some 1,600 people charged over the attack on the Capitol on January 6th. He issued the pardons for all but 14 people. Mark, I think this move is generating the most negative reaction from any of the hundreds of President Trump's actions his first 2 days in office. Would you agree?
Yeah, and not just from Democrats, Republicans, a few Republican senators not happy with the pardons or commutations of those that were convicted of, assault, physically assaulting the Capitol police officer. So might be a misstep, but I know it played well to the base, that the blanket pardons.
And it's the president's absolute prerogative to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So far, generating the most number of lawsuits. Number for you here is 22. 22 states have joined legal action to stop the executive order that cancels birthright citizenship. Oh, by the way, Georgia is not one of those 22 states. The closest southern state I can see is North Carolina. And we're hearing lots of legal commentary on the legality of doing this and a possible violation of the 14th Amendment, which I'm sure you've talked about. It's created in the wake of the Civil War, basically giving citizenship to former slaves. And it also says kids born on U.S. soil are automatically a citizen. So where's the legal hook here for President Trump to make this stick? There may be a clue in this comment from constitutional lawyer Katie Cherkasky that I picked up on Fox News this morning.
The Supreme Court has never specifically ruled on whether the children of illegal or unlawful residents in the United States are automatically entitled to citizenship. Now, that's how the government has interpreted that for many years. But the one Supreme Court case that everybody relies upon over 120 years ago actually dealt with a child of lawful permanent residence, which Trump's order still allows for birthright citizenship.
All right, maybe that's it. And that would certainly come out in any court proceedings. The president himself said something interesting as he was signing the birthright executive order Monday night in that remarkable impromptu news conference in the Oval Office. I'm going to play you 30 seconds of this.
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in the court? That one is likely to be challenged.
Could be. I think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, we'll see. We have very good grounds.
Okay, it's President Trump saying he does expect some court challenges, but he said something else there, Mark, that got my journalist ears perking
me
up.
too. I know exactly where you're going on this.
Mm-hmm.
The only country in the world. I don't think that's true.
Anytime I hear an absolute or an imperative or a superlative, only, always, never, words like that, I go, really? There may be something the president's not telling us here, but it's pretty easy to look up. The World Population Review, for instance, lists 33 countries with unrestricted birthright citizenship, including practically every nation in North and South America. You know why so many in the Western Hemisphere? Scholars believe this began in colonial times because European countries were eager to populate their settlements in the New World, and they never backed off the policy.
Yeah.
So, again, this may just have to wait to come out in court.
I feel better that my journalistic ears perked up at the same statement that yours did. That makes me feel better.
Well, anytime I hear an absolute, I go,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right, well, maybe you know something, and I want to find out what you know. Oh, there's a youth movement underway, too. Have you seen this? J.D. Vance, 40. He's the youngest U.S. vice president in over 70 years. And Caroline Leavitt becomes the youngest White House press secretary ever. She's 27.
27. Wow.
Yep. She has been the Trump-Vance campaign spokesperson, so she's used to fielding questions. And while I got a minute or two here, I think I said when I was talking about coming on with you, maybe some Georgia connections to the early flurry of activity in the Trump administration on these executive orders. He didn't come right out and order tariffs, but the president did direct federal agencies to begin investigations into trade practices, including persistent trade deficits and unfair currency practices, as well as examining flows of migrants and drugs from Canada. Well, Georgia ports are right in the middle of this, right? Usually the second busiest ports on the East Coast, especially for importing vehicles from overseas. Can you imagine what some fat tariffs would do to that? So if tariffs go broad, you can expect some impact here. Keep in mind this executive order, though, only begins an investigation into trade practices. Declaring a national emergency, a first in U.S. history, which would unlock new powers to suspend certain environmental rules or expedite permitting of certain mining projects. Those two words, mining projects, got my attention, Mark. Will that speed up a mining permit on the edge of the Okefenokee Swamp that has been in play for years?
Is that a lithium hunt?
Actually, titanium.
Titanium, okay, all right.
It's titanium dioxide, and the limited reading I've been able to do on that, it's used to whiten toothpaste.
Oh, all right.
Among other things.
Okay.
The Twin Pines Company's been wanting to do this. Conservationists to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service say that mining would threaten the water level in the federally protected swamp. Pro-mining interests say it won't, and they're going to be working on private property anyway. So this now sits with the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, if I'm not mistaken. And this could be the biggie for Georgia. Beginning the repeal of Biden-area regulations on tailpipe pollution from cars and light trucks. That's encouraged automakers to manufacture more electric vehicles, needless to say. And when you say electric vehicles in Georgia, what do you think?
Rivian.
Yeah. That $6 billion plus federally guaranteed loan was finalized before Biden left office. And Georgia has gone big on investing in green infrastructure and industry like battery manufacturing and those EV plants like Rivian, which has yet to be built. But have you ever seen how big that Hyundai plant is just outside of Savannah, Georgia?
Oh, it's a monster.
Wow.
Behemoth.
Unbelievable. So these three things could very quickly have something to do very quickly with the way things come down in Georgia.
Yeah, big. Whatever happens in the nation's capital, we'll feel here in the Peach State for sure. The question for you, Scott, and if you don't know the answer, that's okay. I know Doug Collins' confirmation hearing was held the other day. Do we have any idea when the vote will be taken on that?
No. As I said just a minute ago, so far, the only confirmation vote so far has been for Secretary of State for Marco Rubio. John Ratcliffe for CIA Director was set today, but that's been delayed by a senator. I'm sorry, I can't remember the senator's name. It's a Northeastern Democratic senator.
Chris Murphy.
Okay, right.
I'm just throwing that name out. He's a Northeast Democratic senator.
Could be. But, yeah, I really don't know. Of course, Doug Collins' nomination would not be a problem, I wouldn't think. Neither would the one for David Perdue as ambassador to Canada, which will come later.
Kelly
Loeffler, exactly. He's head of the Small Business Administration. And now GMA Director Chris Stallings, I think I heard you mention that he is up for a very important post in the Small Business Administration.
I don't want to lose him.
Dealing with disasters.
I don't want to lose him.
No, I don't either. But that's the recognition of good talent.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Amazing stuff. Scott, what's coming up tomorrow on Scott Slade's Georgia?
Oh, this is really, really cool, Mark. When a lot of us have already hit our quit date for our New Year's fitness goals, we're going to introduce you to the Brookhaven mom, who is just a fireball when it comes to making things better for teenagers in Georgia, encouraging them to move more, eat better, and talk about impact. The organization she leads is already responsible for hundreds of thousands of kids eating and feeling better statewide, and she's just getting started.
There you go. Can't wait. Scott Slade's Georgia tomorrow on Atlanta's Morning News. Scott, stay warm, my friend.
I will. You too, Mark. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, brother. Rare Wednesday appearance of Scott Slade. Coming up next, we'll update the winter weather throughout the southeastern United States, our top local stories. And a reminder, your next chance to win $1,000 comes after the new news. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 5K Day Bonus Blitz. You get 5 chances to win $1,000 every day. Listen for keywords at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2 p.m., and 5 p.m.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB Radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a Day Bonus Blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBRadio.com or on the WSB Radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a Day Bonus Blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Our weather is so unpredictable. If you think about it, your roof is always working overtime, taking the abuse. Home Fix It Show host Dave Baker here from my local friends at Finley Roofing, the roof guys. So, how's your roof holding up? Anything could be going on up there. I suggest you schedule a Finley Roofing free roof analysis just like I did. No obligation, no charge. And if it's time to replace your roof, think of Finley first. Schedule your free roof analysis at finleyroofing.com.
Roof. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. 800-935-6077. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This past year has been incredibly tough for me. Hey, it's Belinda. Last year, I lost my dad. And most recently, my mom passed away peacefully at home. Please bear with me. My heart is broken. But I'm so grateful Mom was able to remain in her home until the end, thanks to the outstanding caregivers. I just have to tell you about Four Seasons Home Care. Mom loved the caregivers who took such good care of her. Knowing she was in good hands allowed me to be there as her daughter without the stress of managing everything alone. And I was able to keep up with my own responsibilities as a wife and mom, knowing we had these angels who were there day and night, making sure that Mom had everything she needed and fulfilled her wish to stay at home where she was most comfortable. Hey, if your parents are aging, don't wait to get caregiving help. Call Four Seasons Home Care and start the conversation. It's a free call and it can make all the difference. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 888-471-3896. That's 888-471-3896. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
It's home show time. Dave Baker here. The North Atlanta Home Show is right around the corner, January 24th through the 26th at the Gas South Convention Center. Yep, 3 days full of great deals, new ideas, and practical advice for your home inside and out from more than 150 experts. Tickets are available at NorthAtlantaHomeshow.com. And here's a pro tip. Use promo code BAKER and save 50%. That's the North Atlanta Home Show, January 24th through the 26th at the Gas South Convention Center. See you there.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated in the best hearing aids of 2024 by USA Today, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, just $189.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 500,000 happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
10:54 on this chilly Wednesday. Checking the ride around town. Smile and Mark McKay.
And around town on 285, we're in good shape. Picking up a little brake lights at the I-20 East 285 interchange. Neighborhood subdivisions, streets that have not been treated are tricky this morning. And it's a slow ride leaving Commerce into Brazelton. Live look at the Jam Cam shows just a left lane getting by Big Rig Fire cleanup on I-85 southbound before Highway 53 exit 129. Use Highway 124. Smile and Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
It was like I was screaming and I was telling Lamp it's snowing.
I can't believe this is happening. We moved down here to get away from this kind of stuff.
That's a family in Biloxi, Mississippi. I've been to the casinos down there. 5 inches of snow in Biloxi. Crazy, historic winter storm throughout the southeastern United States. Looks like here in Metro Atlanta, most of us dodged a bullet. Not so lucky in South Central and coastal Georgia. Christina's full 5-day forecast minutes away. On a chilly afternoon like this, we're up to a balmy 30 in Midtown. What is the perfect Longoria lunch on a freezing afternoon like this?
I'm gonna think something like tomato soup and a grilled cheese.
Yeah,
sandwich.
right. That's the traditional it's snowing outside. Let's have tomato soup and grilled cheese. Now, I've never been to this establishment in Ohio, but I've got a lot of friends from Ohio. They swear by it. Maya's been there, loves it. This is a crazy story. Some loyal fans of a bar and restaurant in Northeast Ohio that just closed after nearly 2 decades say it's left an emotional and physical mark on them. ABC's Chuck Siverstein has the story.
In 2008, the Melt Bar and Grilled restaurant chain offered a lifetime 25% discount for anyone with a Melt Grilled Cheese tattoo. Sporting his tat at a sort of garage sale at the last location in Lakewood, Ohio, Jordan Barrett, perusing merchandise, artwork, and small wares.
A tattoo is one thing, but if you got something you can hang on the wall and remember all the good times, that's what I want.
Beer glasses to decades-old Cleveland baseball memorabilia and more. Sales resume Saturday and Sunday. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
So the place is called The Melt, and all they do is sell grilled cheese sandwiches. Well, who doesn't love a grilled cheese sandwich?
Yeah, they're great.
And apparently, I'm never going to get to go. Maya said it's the best grilled cheese she's ever had. But those poor people got tattoos, like permanent tattoos, so they can get 25% off their order.
Like for life,
but now
they're not going to be able to do that.
Now it's gone. Now, shout out to Olive Garden and the never-ending pasta pass. You didn't have to get that tattooed on you.
No.
Still the greatest regret of my life.
Weren't you going to get the Subway tattoo?
I was going to get the Subway, but Subway's never going to, we'll never say never, but Subway's never going to go under, right? It's like 48,000 locations.
Yeah, you would think
so. Anyway, grilled cheese and tomato soup. The traditional winter weather lunch, if you're looking for lunch suggestions. All right, news, weather, and traffic. Christina updates the winter weather here in Metro Atlanta. When we come back, more on the day 3 of the Trump presidency. Immigration, obviously a big campaign point for President Trump. What's it look like now? We've seen any of those mass deportations. Daniela Sartori from Bloomberg News joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
Every single month that you wait to call MyLend is just another month where you've likely paid more than you should have on your mortgage. This is Scott Slade. The time to act is now. Everything is moving in the right direction for you to start saving on your mortgage. No matter your scenario, MyLend has seen it. Reverse mortgages for you or your parents, specialty purchase programs, cash out refinances, second mortgages, rental properties, VA and FHA. Mortgages are MyLend's specialty. And when you've been doing it as long as they have, you've seen it all. I've been saying it for years, and it's still true today. MyLend is constantly closing loans other lenders just can't close. The Fed is starting to lower rates, so your time to act is now. Take a few minutes out of your day and call my friends at MyLend. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spelled it M-I-L-E-N-D. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. MyLend's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Mark Arum here for my friends at Renters Warehouse. Fall is here. The kids back in school. Time to take a quiz. Question 1. If you already own a house with a low interest rate, what's the best way to get even more value from it? Answer, rent it out. Renting already delivers cash flow, appreciation, and tax benefits. Now it allows you to keep that low interest rate, and hey, you can always move back in if you want to. Question 2. With Renters Warehouse, do you have to find tenants, collect rent, or handle maintenance calls? No. Renters Warehouse does it all for you. That's why they're Atlanta's leading real estate investment services company. Final question. Do you pay Renters Warehouse a percentage of the rent or a low flat monthly fee? Answer, a low flat monthly fee. For just $115 a month, you can outsource all your management headaches to them. Now, to pass the test, I need you to do one more thing. Go to rwatlanta.com today, book your free home rental price analysis, or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. DeKalb County declaring a state of emergency. County government saying residents need to, quote, shelter in place as this winter weather continues to have an impact on area roadways. The county declaring a state of emergency, saying frigid temperatures have rendered their efforts to treat and clear the roads ineffective. They've applied over 500 tons of product, they say, to county roads. Over 100 vehicles have been reported as stranded, and 911's getting hundreds of calls. And this winter storm has dumped record amounts of snow in places that usually don't see snow. From New Orleans to Pensacola, Florida. Reporter Katie Wise is in New Orleans this morning, where people are hunkered down.
It's hard to find gas. It's hard to really find any business open, groceries, things of that nature. So folks are really sheltering in place and trying to do the best they can with the resources they have.
The storm is blamed for at least 4 deaths and forced the cancellation of thousands of flights, and we are feeling it at Atlanta's big airport.
Hundreds of flights have been canceled and delayed at the airport today, and that's after extensive cancellations yesterday.
Usually Wednesdays, midweek, and this time of year isn't too busy. But with the cancellations and the delays across the country yesterday, people who were here will be traveling.
Airport spokesman Andy Gobiel tells WSB passengers should arrive about 3 hours early to be safe. He says the airfield itself is operating as normal with no issues with ice. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
MARTA has halted bus, streetcar, and their mobility services. Trains are running, but on a weekend schedule, but they may be intermittent additional delays because of operator availability. MARTA is monitoring the roads and the situation, and they hope to restore service as things improve. Insurance companies are bracing for a slew of claims from homeowners following this and all those frozen pipes that are going to be bursting.
3 easy steps can keep you from frozen pipes that break and flood your home.
Keeping the faucets running, opening the cabinet doors, keeping your heat on.
Bryce Rawson with the Georgia Insurance Commission says if a pipe does freeze and burst, the nightmare could continue with your insurance company.
They can actually deny coverage if the policyholder fails to take necessary steps to prevent an accident from happening.
Advice? Video yourself turning on
on faucets, opening sink doors, and setting the thermostat high enough. That's proof you did what you could. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
It's going to be sunny this afternoon, but not warm. 36 degrees, the expected high. In DeKalb County, 2 children were treated for smoke inhalation in a fire overnight. This was at a home on Bentley Woods Lane. The cause of that fire is under investigation this morning. A second commercial poultry flock in Georgia has now tested positive for avian flu. This one is also in Elbert County. Tyler Harper is Georgia's agriculture commissioner. He tells us
it is critical that we work to address this, contain this, and eradicate this as quickly as possible, and that's what our team is working to do.
All commercial poultry operations within more than 6 miles of that site where the 2 cases have been found are under quarantine and will continue to undergo increased surveillance testing for a period of at least 2 weeks. On Friday, all poultry activities were suspended in our state after bird flu was confirmed in that first commercial poultry operation. Also in Elbert County, poultry is a more than $30 billion industry here in our state. The Justice Department is threatening to prosecute state and local officials who resist the federal crackdown on immigration. In a memo today, the DOJ outlined President Trump's plans to challenge sanctuary city laws and said those who decline to prosecute immigration cases will be put under investigation, potentially leading to prosecution. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow right now is up 49 at 44,075. NASDAQ is also up more than a full percent, and the S&P is up more than 0.5%. Let's get a look at the roads, and for that, we turn now to Andrew Seco in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Watching a new slow spot heading out of Tucker, 78 eastbound, right before you hit Mount Industrial. Looks like we might have something jammity up here. Luckily, no heavy delays right now. Just a quick tap of the brakes as you're moving. Got some Service Street troubles with a lingering eye, seeing the effects. Highway 124, Highway 155. Remember to drive with extreme caution to get to and from your destination. To get to and from your destination safely, and the ride through Jackson County looking a little tough still. Only a left lane open with this big rig fire cleanup, 85 south, and as I'm speaking, it looks like we're moved off to the shoulder. Those delays thinning out really good. No more need for an alternate. Heading closer into Brazelton. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epwards. Mostly sunny today, but still frigid with a high of 36. Lows tonight back down into the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Another cold start on Friday, morning low 24. Daytime high 42 with a partly cloudy sky.
It is 27 degrees in East Point. Decatur has 24 degrees, and it's 25 right now in Woodstock. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
10:05 on this chilly, snowy, icy, depending where you live, Wednesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from now, Deborah's going to give tickets to see Willie Nelson down Macon Way. And in exactly 1 hour, I'm going to give you another keyword in the WSB Radio 5K a day bonus blitz. Another chance for you to win $1,000 courtesy of 95.5 WSB. We've been all over the globe today, updating the winter weather. Again, the very latest from Natalie Dale, the DOT. Christina Edwards, our meteorologist, updating our forecast. Record snowfall in the panhandle of Florida and New Orleans, 9 inches in Florida. We heard from a reporter down in the Big Easy. Unbelievable. They just cannot catch a break there. And, of course, we're monitoring the third day of the second Trump presidency. One of his big campaign promises was immigration, closing the border, deportations. Joining us live from Bloomberg News, covering that angle of the Trump presidency, it's our buddy Daniela Sartori. Daniela, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Anytime.
So obviously, President Trump coming out swinging in his second presidency, over 100 executive orders signed, talking about tariffs, birthright citizenship. Where does the second Trump presidency stand right now when it comes to immigration and deportation?
So when it comes to deportations, there's been a lot of talk even before, he took office that there might be, mass deportations. And there was actually a report last week, that there were going to be some targeted raids in some cities, including Chicago. And, we've kept tabs on what's been happening. And even though we've gotten, no word of actually anything happening, it is clear that it is dampening, traffic in some areas that are very immigrant heavy because, people are afraid of, stepping out of their homes.
Have we had confirmation, though, that any of these raids have begun?
So yesterday, Tom Homan, who, has been called sort of like the border czar, did go on CNN and talk about these raids happening, but we don't actually know anything further than that at this moment.
Did Holman say that the first illegal immigrants that would be deported would be those with criminal records, or is this blanket? If you're here illegally but haven't violated any laws, you've been working hard, et cetera, are those folks, possibly going to be taken out of the United States, or is it just people that have violated other crimes?
So what he said yesterday is that the administration will be coming, after criminals first. But if those people are found with other undocumented immigrants, those people can be detained as well. So, the details are shifting, of course, but that is sort of the messaging that has come out so far.
Danielle Satori from Bloomberg News joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. We heard from the candidate Trump and his circle on the campaign trail that the thought was this would spur self-deportation. Have we seen any self-deportation, especially in the bigger cities? Have folks already left the country in fear of getting deported during a second Trump term?
So that's not something I have particular insight on, but what I can tell you is that there's, for example, this area in Chicago, Little Village, which is, primarily a Mexican area, and it's normally a very busy, bustling business district. And according to the reporting we did over the past couple of days, it was kind of a ghost town. By some measures, traffic around the area actually plunged about 50%, according to some advocates and other, kind of Chamber of Commerce type folks that talk to businesses. And, the decline was sort of both, right? Businesses closing, workers not showing up, and also just consumers, people who would normally patronize these businesses not wanting to be out. And it wasn't just because it's been very cold in Chicago. I mean, according to the people that we've spoken with, it's just, people are actually fearful of having to engage with ICE. And, they are, trying to stay at home in hopes of not encountering officials.
I'm not familiar with that. If you can, tell us more about that area of Chicago and what it was like before and what it's like now.
Yeah, so it's called Little Village, and they actually call it Mexico of the Midwest, and it's a very bustling area. So, according to our reporting, it's actually sort of the second busiest retail corridor in the city, sort of after what we call the Magnificent Mile, which is an area that has a lot of luxury stores. So you can imagine that, sort of the busiest is an area with luxury stores. Sort of the second busiest is, this sort of Mexican area with a bustling business corridor. And so you can imagine sort of like all the traffic and all the people that would be going around. And, we've talked to actually an owner of 3 Mexican restaurants who, came from Mexico, is now an American citizen, and, who said that 2 of his workers are already just not showing up to work, that he, gave all of them the option to stay away. But actually even this person who is an American citizen currently said that they, they asked not to be named as to not face, retribution. A lot of the folks we're talking to don't want to be named because they don't want to become targets themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely understand. All right, Danielle Satori, Bloomberg News. Danielle, as always, thanks for your time.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I had a tweet, Deborah, this morning from someone asking if I'd heard about the ICE raids in Chamblee, and I had not. So I said, if you have any info, email me about them, but I haven't heard a follow-up from him. But I have not heard of. Have you guys heard of any ICE raids in Chamblee or anywhere?
I haven't seen anything. I follow a lot of Latin stuff online.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything. Interesting. Daniela mentioned the what is it? The Miracle Mile. What is it?
The Magnificent Mile.
The Magnificent Mile. So do you have that drop that we used to play at the end of the show? It's so funny. When I was at Braves Fantasy Camp, obviously there are a lot of folks from Metro Atlanta area, and one of the campers lives in the Metro area, and he asked me a question about the show. He's like, how come you don't play that thing at the end of your show anymore? I was like, well, my boss got rid of it because it was causing confusion. So at the end of the show for years, we would play this drop that was kind of poking fun at Oprah, because Oprah used to end her show. Guests of the Oprah Winfrey Show stay at the fabulous Omni All-Suite Hotels, Chicago's Magnificent, something like that. And he was like, why did you get rid of that? I'm like, oh, it wasn't my call. That was the boss's call. Do we still have it, or it's probably deleted? Ken deleted it from the system, lest I get out of line. Yeah, anyway, the Marvelous Mile? Miraculous Mile? Magnificent Mile. I knew it was an M there. All right, obviously, if anything pops with immigration raids, we'll bring it to you live here on 95.5 WSB. When we come back, this is a local story that caught my attention. I saw it on AJC.com today. The highest paid employees that work for the state of Georgia. Top earners on the state payroll. Some of these names you'll recognize. Some of them you'll be like, what are they getting paid? I'll give you the list next on the Mark Arum Show.
On air,
online,
on the app,
where you get your news,
is where you'll win.
Download the WSB radio app now and maybe win $1,000.
That is awesome.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz.
5 words, 5 times a day, every weekday.
This is Jill from Roswell, and I just won $1,000.
Just enter the word at WSBradio.com or on the WSB radio app.
Your next chance to win is coming up at 12.
The WSB 5K a day bonus blitz
on 95.5 WSB.
Our weather can be so unpredictable. Dry for days, and we get pounded with rain and storms, from soaking wet to arid dry. Extreme heat to bitter cold, and your roof has to be ready to take all that abuse. So, is your roof ready for our weather extremes? Home Fixes Show host Dave Baker here for my experts at Finley Roofing. The roof guys. If you're not sure how your roof is holding up, look for signs like wet spots or water streaks on the ceiling, drywall, or in the attic. Water is your home's worst enemy. So let Finley catch the problem now before water invades your home. Everything you own and love lives under your roof. Don't keep repairing what you should replace. Think of Finley first. They installed the roof on my home and the homes of over 65,000 of our neighbors. I trust Finley Roofing, and you can too. They're local, part of our community, and they follow the golden rule and treat your home like it's their own. Schedule your free roof analysis at finleyroofing.com.
Roof. I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group, to discuss one of the biggest blind spots that people face when saving for retirement, and it's a head scratcher. Chris, how do so many people not know what they're invested in?
That's the biggest flaw that everybody runs into. They think they know what equities they have, they think they know what bonds they have, but they really don't know how those mutual funds or how those index funds are performing in conjunction with one another. So, I would liken this to a big pot of soup, and we're just throwing all the ingredients in the refrigerator in this thing. It's not very good. It's just a mishmash of stuff. And sometimes you like the way it tastes. Sometimes you don't. And when you don't know why. You don't know if you got too much chicken in there or too much vegetables in there or what's going on. And I ask every caller that comes in for an initial consultation, do you know how your portfolio is broken down? And they say, well, I've got, 20 or so options in my 401k, and I just picked 2 of them or 3 of them. I thought I needed some international. I thought I needed some U.S. equities. I thought I needed some bonds. And they're just guessing. So you have to absolutely know what you're invested in, and that's where we will run the 401k portfolio x-ray for you, because that'll break it down. If you're not proficient at investing and don't understand this world, we will walk you through it. Not knowing what you're invested in is a big hindrance to growing and protecting your money. We will run a portfolio x-ray for you and educate you on exactly what's in your portfolio.
Set up a time to get your complimentary portfolio x-ray today. Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858. That's 404-737-3858, or book online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Men, if you're suffering from ED or PE, Priority Men's Medical Center will get your love life back in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your love life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To regain your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Now that the hustle and bustle of the holidays is over, it's worth giving some thought to were my guests comfortable in my home? Did the electrical system hold up with the decorations and constant drone of kitchen appliances? Ashley Frasca for Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Over the holiday season, we played tug of war with our thermostat, constantly adjusting the temperature. But it reminds me when it's time for maintenance, and I actually look forward to a Ragsdale technician coming out to my home. They're patient, always on time, and happy to help. I've trusted them in our home for years, whether it's electrical, plumbing, or a furnace that's just not quite keeping up. Ragsdale is here to help your family stay comfortable. They've been in business almost 30 years, and many employees celebrate decades of service with Ragsdale. They're one of the most Google-reviewed HVAC companies in Metro Atlanta and has a well-earned 4.9 rating. See why at ragsdaleair.com or give them a call. Tell them I sent you. Ragsdale, the name you know you can trust.
11:18 on the Mark Arum Show, checking trouble on I-20. Hello and good morning, Andrew Seco.
Hello and good morning, my friend. Right now, we might be dealing with a new travel advisory. Got a crash. Looks like we're blocking the 20 eastbound ramp to 285, exit 51. Cones across the lanes of the jam cam. No estimated clearing time. We'll keep you updated. In the meantime, avoid the area. You can use Fulton Industrial. They exit over, merge up there to Highway 78 as an alternate connection point. This report sponsored by Rapid Radios. Their instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, you can go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
I ain't never expected for it to be this much snow at one time. Like 3 inches, like we don't normally get that down here.
That was a gentleman down Griffin, Georgia, south side of Atlanta, really whacked with the winter weather. Most of us in Metro Atlanta, if you live west of 85, you caught a break. In fact, Christina sent me sky view, aerial view of the radar. I don't know what it is. It's on my Twitter page. Snow from space. Her tweet says, it's absolutely wild how 85 is literally the cutoff between snow and no snow in Metro Atlanta. So Deborah lives west of 85. Longo lives west of 85. You guys got bupkis. I got snow and ice and a white knuckle drive.
It was the weirdest thing driving home yesterday. Right when you hit 285, it was like like you were in a different area.
Yeah.
It was like snow and then nothing.
I was already home safely. What time did you get home yesterday?
Probably about 2.
And you were fine?
I didn't see anything. Driving home, everything was fine.
I was sheltered in place after 2-ish.
I kept waiting for a call. Like,
Yeah.
do I have to go back to work
call,
today?
The call never came. But apparently yesterday's afternoon rush hour was pretty bad in some places. We got you covered, though, of course. Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. We'll provide updates throughout the day. DOT has done a phenomenal job again this winter go around on the interstates and state roads. Surface streets are still dicey out there. Still a mess at the airport as far as wait times are concerned. We'll update that after the news. I do want to get to this. I've been teasing it all morning. I am thankful we are in a profession where our salaries are not public knowledge, right? If you work for the state, that's public information. Whatever you make is whatever you make. Like my dad was a state employee, a city employee, and everyone in town knew what he made. I'm thankful that, like, athletes, that's public knowledge. But if you're an athlete, you're making fun, you're not embarrassed about that. Before I go to the highest paid state employees, I want to talk to the youngest cast member, Vinny Bag of Donuts. You're still young. You haven't hit your big earning years. Vinny, best case scenario, what do you want to make to feel really comfortable? Like, what's the salary quest that you're on right now?
Right now?
Per year.
Like 40,
45. 40K a year?
Yeah.
That's
all
right.
all I need.
All right, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just give you a heads up. When you hit that 40, you're going to go, 75 would be phenomenal.
Yeah, 80 looks really good. 80 looks really
But that's
good.
great. I love that's what your goal is. So when I started here at WSB Radio, I made $8 an hour. I'm assuming you're making more than that, Vin?
Yes.
All right, fair enough.
Thankfully,
good.
yeah.
But just be warned, once you hit that goal, you're going to set a higher goal. I think we all can relate to that, right?
Of course, because our lives change.
Yeah, when I made $8 an hour, I'm like, oh, $12 an hour would be king. I'd be King Midas with 12, and then I hit it. I'm like, oh, 15. Anyway, back to the state employee. Sorry. This is you might expect this, right? Kirby Smart is one of the highest paid people, state employees that is expected, right? The highest top salaries are among coaches in Metro Atlanta. The University of Georgia men's head basketball coach, second highest state salary, $3.6 million. Kirby Smart made $12.2 million. Big things. Women's basketball coach at UGA earned over $1 million. We expect that. Some of the other Georgia teacher salary, by the way, went up to $64,000 thanks to the Kemp money that went in there. Governor Brian Kemp makes $182,000. Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones makes $99,000. This is all public record. This is all from the AJC.com this morning. Here's one that I was shocked last year when the list came out. I'm shocked again. Second year in a row, Griff Lynch, that's his name or her name, the executive director of the Georgia Ports Authority, is the highest paid employee at a state agency with a salary of $1.4 million. 5 times more than the governor?
It does seem weird that it's more than the governor.
Is he does he get bonuses or commission? Like, how he's going to get a commission of what comes into the ports? I know it's an important job. $1.4 million for the executive director of the Georgia Ports Authority. I would think, and I understand the ports are very important, but shouldn't the executive director of the airport make over $1 million then? Like, that's a bigger, I don't know. That's crazy. Here's another one that jumped off the page at me. Charles Carey. Charles, if you're listening, sorry to put your business out on the radio, but he is the chief investment officer at the Teachers Retirement System. He has the second highest income out of a state agency employee with $1 million. $1 million. He's the chief investment officer for the Teachers Retirement System. And he actually had a salary dip. The year before, he made $1.1 million.
I'll bet you he was mad.
I can imagine. Others who earned over $1 million include university presidents and doctors. 3 Augusta University professors and doctors made over $1 million. 2 cardiothoracic surgeons and a neurosurgeon. Angel Cabrera, the president of Georgia Tech, earned $1.2 million. Top salary for public university president in the state. Highest earning school system employee was Christopher McMichael. Again, Christopher, I'm so sorry, but listen, it was already on the web. The superintendent of the Barrow County Schools got $691,000. Wow. He's no longer in the role. Superintendents often get payouts when they leave school system. The previous fiscal year, he earned $240,000. So again, Kirby Smart, $12.2 million, the highest paid state employee. The defensive line coach at the University of Georgia got $1.2 million. Ed McCarthy is the COO at the Georgia Ports. He got $674,000. Jamie McMurray, Chief Administrative Officer at the Ports Authority, $492,000. I need to go work in the ports.
Didn't
we're the wrong business.
Didn't you say you wanted to do that?
Yeah.
Right?
Come at me. I'm ready. I love boats and ships and the sea. Adam Hathaway, Superintendent of the Tift County Board of Education, makes over $500,000 a year. We're in the wrong profession. Vinny, you got to get out of radio.
Yeah, get out now.
And go apply at the port.
Yeah.
Calvin Watts, Superintendent, Gwinnett County Board of Education, $475,000. Christopher Ragsdale, Superintendent, Cobb County School District, $517,000. Maya, we need to get you on that superintendent path, Maya. What the heck's going on? Crazy stuff there. All right, when we come back, we're going to update the winter weather, and we're going to head back to D.C., talk to Karen Travers, White House reporter, about day 3 of the Trump presidency. Social medias are active, at Mark Arum and at WSB Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shelley Winter for D. Geller & Son. When I was looking for an engagement ring, I could have gone anywhere, but I wanted to go to a place where I knew I could get better quality hand-picked diamonds and an unbeatable value. An incredible selection, custom designs, and they have on-site jewelers and an expert staff helped me because they're trained gemologists. They have 3 convenient locations, Atlanta, Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com. Go to dgeller.com right now and be like me. Get the best quality diamond you'll ever get for her in your life.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell.
And I'm Monica Pearson. Dale and I have worked together for years, first at WSB, and today helping you find Georgia's best companies and sharing why they're the best.
Monica, one of the first companies I researched and recommended is AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care. For more than a dozen years, they've consistently met my 7-point standard and honored my Make It Right guarantee. And I know you believe in AMCO just as much as I do.
Dale, over the years, we've both reported about people getting taken advantage of. So I'm keenly aware what it takes to deliver not just great performance, but great customer service. People who follow my advice literally stop me on the street and thank me for referring them to AMCO.
We all need mechanics we can trust for correct diagnosis, efficient repair, and fair price. Not just for transmission repair, but engines, brakes, check engine lights, and so much more. Call the locally owned AMCO near you.
And I know their nationwide warranty protects you everywhere.
That's AA.
MCO.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219. 800-303-1219.
Are the effects of diabetes, prostate cancer, hypertension, or high cholesterol robbing you of your ability to perform in the bedroom? Choice Men's Health can help you eliminate ED and get your bedroom performance back in just one visit. Choice Men's Health offers breakthrough treatments for ED and performance issues in the bedroom to help you regain your confidence and give you back the intimacy with your partner. Call Choice Men's Health right now to make an appointment and find out how you can eliminate ED on the first visit. Popular name brand pills like Viagra and Cialis don't work for everyone and can have serious side effects. Choice Men's Health custom medications work immediately, even if you have a medical history or think you're too old to perform like you used to. Choice Men's Health can help you have a fulfilling sex life again. Call Choice Men's Health today at 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. Once again, that's 404-400-1170.
Buy your dream home now and sell your old home later with Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program. Plus, Orchard makes price-boosting upgrades at no upfront cost. Axel Lowe here. Buy before you sell and get top dollar with Orchard. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios. News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. Temperatures will not make it much higher than freezing today, so driving conditions will remain tricky.
We're not having a melt, and so we'll just keep retreating and plowing and treating some of these areas in Metro that we need to clear up.
And Natalie Dale with the Georgia Department of Transportation says interstates in Metro Atlanta are in good shape, but treatments continue on interchanges and exit ramps where icy spots are still there. Side streets are handled by city and county road crews. Now, DeKalb County this morning has issued a state of emergency. The county saying 911 is getting hundreds of calls, and at least 100 cars have been stranded because of icy conditions there. They're urging folks in DeKalb County to shelter inside, is what they're saying, and off the roads until this winter storm passes. The Atlanta airport continuing to deal with the storm.
Hartsfield-Jackson spokesman Andy Gobiel says pack your patience if you're flying today.
Normally we say get to the airport about 2.5 hours prior to departure. Today we're going to say 3 hours prior to departure, just to make sure everybody is here and ready to go on time.
FlightAware shows more than 300 flights were canceled there yesterday. Many of those passengers have shifted to flights today in response, but hundreds of new cancellations are reported today as well. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
And the bad weather has caused the delay of funeral services for a local civil rights activist.
Services for the late freedom rider Charles Person had been set for noon today at Ebenezer Baptist Church. The Atlanta native co-founded the Freedom Riders Training Academy. At age 18, he was the youngest of the original 13 freedom riders. Person person died at his Fayetteville home on January 8th at age 82.
And WSB's Jonathan O'Brien says there's no word on when the service will be rescheduled. A second commercial poultry flock here in Georgia has now tested positive for avian flu. This one is also in Elbert County. This is the second one in our state since the outbreak in 2022. Tyler Harper is the ag commissioner here in Georgia. He says you need to know that the chicken that you buy in the grocery store is safe.
And I think the reason folks need to have confidence in that is because of the rigorous inspection standards that we have for the safety of our food supply, and the fact that no infected birds have entered the food supply chain.
On Friday, all poultry activities were suspended in our state after bird flu was confirmed in that first commercial poultry operation, also in Elbert County. Poultry is a more than $30 billion industry here in Georgia. Netflix is raising its prices. This is the second time since October. It's going from $6.99 to $7.99 a month, and the ad-free service will go up to $17.99 a month. Netflix added a record 19 million subscribers in the fourth quarter, pushing its total to over 300 million. This is new here at 11:30. The federal government orders Atlanta-based Equifax to pay $15 million for improperly investigating credit reporting errors. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says that the credit reporting agency ignored consumer documents and other evidence submitted with disputes and allowed old errors to be placed back into credit reports. Federal law requires credit agencies to fully investigate any dispute. The money will be placed in the Bureau's Victims Relief Fund. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 115 at 44,141. NASDAQ is also up more than a full percent, and the S&P is not far behind. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by American Crawl Space Solutions. Andrew Seco is in the 24-hour traffic center.
And right now, still watching the travel advisory in the southwest side. Overturned Big Rig, blocking the 20 eastbound ramp to 285 north, exit 51. Things looking tough, only going to get tougher. Luckily, you got a perfect alternate right behind you in Fulton Industrial and exit over. You can take that up to Hollowell Parkway and merge back onto 285. And better news out of Brazelton, our vehicle fire cleanup has finished. All lanes back open. 85 south before Highway 53. No more need for an alternate as you get closer towards the Gwinnett County line. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upward. Sunny skies, but cold today. High 36. Lows tonight back down to the low 20s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 41. Friday, a mix of sun and clouds, morning low 24, afternoon high 42.
It is 27 degrees right now in Kennesaw and Duluth. South Fulton has 29 degrees. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When the weather is at its worst,
1/2 inch to 1 inch of accumulation down towards Griffin and McDonough.
we're at our best.
The travel conditions are rather hazardous.
Check in often for updates on how it will affect you and your commute.
North Druid Hills Road at Willoughby Drive completely blocked off.
Tune in often for the latest.
Barrow County, Coweta County, Henry County, Newton County, and Griffin-Spalding County schools all closed.
95.5 WSB, your severe weather station.
The main roads, I seen them prepping it early, but like the side roads, like I'm going to try to make
That's a
my
driver
way
down
on
in Griffin, Georgia. Coming up, we'll update the winter weather. We'll check in on day 3 of the Trump presidency, and Deborah's got tickets to see Willie Nelson. We'll give those away next on the Mark Arum Show.
Healthy, beautiful skin can be yours with Olansky Dermatology. They're experts in aesthetic and medical skincare needs, including Mohs surgery. Schedule online 24/7 at their Cumming, Roswell, and Buckhead locations, with new convenient evening and Saturday hours at their Buckhead office. With 40 years as Atlanta's premier dermatology practice, they're your trusted skincare specialists. Visit OlanskyDermatology.com for an appointment with Atlanta's top dermatologist. Olansky Dermatology and Aesthetics, where everyone deserves healthy skin.
Start your year off stress-free and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. When you receive a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. One of our clients, Tiffany, said, Mark Spain Real Estate was wonderful in answering any questions I had along the way. Find out what your guaranteed offer will be and close in as little as 21 days. There's no obligation. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
He packed in the animals 2 by 2.
Ox, a camel, and a kangaroo. 11:37 on this frigid Wednesday edition of the Mark Arum Show. I say that, though. We're up to 33 degrees in Midtown. That's thawing temperature. It was 20 when we started the show back at 9 a.m. Coming up in 30 minutes, going to give you another keyword in the 5K day bonus splits, but let's give back to the listeners right now, Deborah. Second day in a row, an amazing pair of tickets to see
Willie Nelson at the Atrium Health Amphitheater in Macon on April 13th.
All right, let's do the 13th caller, Vinny Bag of Donuts. 13th caller to 404-872-0750, 1-800-WSB Talk. 13th caller gets to see the legend, Willie Nelson. Backstage passes? Or you can join him in the trailer
not
and
backstage passes,
partake
no.
in some
But
herbal.
maybe if you offer him something, he'll let you in.
Apparently, he and Snoop have had some legendary
God, that is a party.
sessions. Yeah, for sure. We're going to go up to the nation's capital in just a second, but I want to talk to Andrew Seco in the 24-hour traffic center. Andrew, how you holding up, buddy?
Doing all right, my friend. How you doing over there?
Excellent. I'm not. I'm going to pick on you, but not really picking on you. How long have you been a member of Triple Team Traffic at WSB Radio?
Just a little bit over a year. It
Over a
started
year.
last November.
Okay, you're doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate you,
rising star in the industry. I made an observation. So right after the newscast, Longoria, you play a promo, right? A news promo, and Andrew Seco is featured in that news promo. Do you know how long I was a member of the traffic team before I got to be included on a promo?
5 years.
Way more than that. Way more than that. It was probably 10, 15 years into my career before they're like, oh, we can throw Arum in a promo. And I'm not mad at you. You deserve it. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate you,
But
Fred.
the old
Thank you.
regime was like, yeah, you got to earn your keep, son. But Seco's already a year in. He's already hitting those promos. Good job. The promos sound great, by the way. And you're doing a great job, Andrew. I'm not picking on you. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I appreciate you, man. And even if you were picking on me, it'd still be having fun.
Yeah. I mean, we got all the new guys. Gnocchi was in a promo.
I don't think I'm in a promo.
No.
And I've been here for 13 years.
Exactly. Anyway, the promos sound great. I'm not picking on anybody. But it took me, I remember the first time I was in a promo, I was like, I need a copy of that. I've got it on a cassette tape somewhere. All right, let's head up to the nation's capital. White House correspondent Karen Travers from ABC. Karen, good morning. Yesterday was the first full day of the second Trump presidency, and he came out full guns a-blazing, bold visions for the future. Let's start with his vision for an AI infrastructure plan. What can you tell us about that?
It is, yeah. He announced yesterday, or he was touting, I should say, this joint venture between 3 different tech companies. This is OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle. These companies have already been working on this. I should say OpenAI has been working on this venture, Stargate, for a couple of months. But the companies have come together to say that they're going to invest at least $100 billion in the computing infrastructure that would power artificial intelligence. They're going to continue building these big facilities down in Texas, data centers that would power AI. And Stargate, they say, could eventually invest as much as $500 billion into this effort over the next 4 years. They also open it up to other investors to join in on this. But for now, it's $100 billion in this effort to power AI. President, of course, was very eager to tout this and talk about what he wants to do to make the United States competitive against China in this area of technology. But again, it's not federal government money that's going into this. And also, this was an effort that was underway before he took office on Monday.
Oh, so that $500 billion that he touted, that's not taxpayer money. That's going to be the investment from those big 3 companies. Okay. And Stargate?
It is. Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming a reference to the movie, the sci-fi
they didn't
movie?
say yesterday, but I certainly had a lot of emails in my inbox saying, wait a minute, is that because of the movie? But that was not part of the announcement yesterday.
Gotcha. So, the Trump 2.0, as I've been calling it, talking about a large reconciliation bill. Obviously, you got to fund all these projects. What's the status of that, and can we see bipartisan cooperation on a bill like that?
We'll see. I mean, this is the big effort, similar to what we saw in 2017, where the Biden administration, said, here are our priorities. Like that was infrastructure for them and other, domestic policy spending issues. For the Trump administration, he has said energy policy, border and immigration policy, and tax policy are their big issues. And they want to try to get a piece of legislation together as quickly as possible. Now, it's going to take time. This is not something that happens overnight. And there's a question about how they put it together. The easier way, in theory, would be like do it all at once, get it in one big bill, because they have such slim majorities in the House Senate. It's going to be difficult to try and corral everybody in the Republican caucus. But a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about this legislation, and it's going to take when he was a candidate, promising a flurry of executive actions and doing a lot right out of the gate, and that's what they're doing. Now, how much of this gets challenged and held up in court, how much of it actually has legs and actually makes an impact, we're still working through a lot of that, but they certainly have made a big burst of activity the top priority over the last 48 hours.
Final question for you, Karen. How did you spend Inauguration Day?
Oh, I was here in my little windowless closet in the White House from dark till dark. We were just saying here, my colleagues, like, we kind of haven't seen daylight over the last couple of days. Like, we go outside for our television hits, too, but it has been around the clock since basically Sunday.
were you in the Oval when Trump was signing those executive orders and held that impromptu presser? That was remarkable.
I was in there on Monday night. It was 48 minutes was my audio recording I was the radio pooler in there. So it's a little tricky to hold up that boom mic for 48 minutes while also trying to take notes. But we got it done and got a lot of questions into him on day one.
Yeah, that was remarkable to hear all those questions. Got way more out of that than we did the inaugural address. Karen, I know you got to run. Karen Travers, ABC at the White House. Thanks as always for your time.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Eric Erickson is going to continue our team coverage. Day 3 of the Trump presidency. He's working from home today, by the way. He posted a picture of his mansion down in Macon on Instagram. Humble brag, Erickson. Nice pad. Anyway, he's broadcasting from home noon to 3 here on 95.5 WSB. Congrats to Susan in Smyrna. She won a pair of tickets to see Willie Nelson, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show. Don't forget, after the new news, I'm going to give you another keyword in the 5K Day bonus blitz. When we come back, we'll update the winter weather coverage in Metro Atlanta. Still, a large number of people in Georgia without power. I'll give you the exact number when we come back next.
We're looking for a home for Sherry. Chris Chandler here from Atlanta's Morning News. Sherry's our first WSB Dog of the Month. With Paws Atlanta, we're looking for Sherry's new family. She is 4. She's cuddly and curious. Meet her at WSBRadio.com/dog. Our sponsor, Finley Roofing, will pay the adoption fee too. Have a look. WSBRadio.com/dog.
Atlanta DIY landlords, listen up. If you're exhausted from managing your rental properties all by yourself, my friends at Renters Warehouse Atlanta offering a 90-day test drive. Hire Renters Warehouse to manage your rental property for a low flat monthly fee as low as $115. If you're not satisfied at any time in the first 3 months, you can fire them. Get your management fees back. What do you get for that low flat monthly fee? A dedicated property management team, maintenance coordination, move in and move out property condition reports, advanced tenant screening with a 9-month tenant warranty, professional photography and videography, lease renewal processing and negotiations, online rent collection, monthly owner cash flow statements, and more. Renters Warehouse, so confident you'll love their service, they want an addition for your business. Choice is yours. Keep DIYing or see how Renters Warehouse can make your life easier. Start your 90-day test drive today. Go to rwatlanta.com or call 404-662-2322, 404-662-2322.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man, high five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, bike shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee. It's back, but only for a limited time. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Every single month that you wait to call MyLend is just another month where you've likely paid more than you should have on your mortgage. This is Scott Slade. The time to act is now. Everything is moving in the right direction for you to start saving on your mortgage. No matter your scenario, MyLend has seen it. Reverse mortgages for you or your parents, specialty purchase programs, cash out refinances, second mortgages, rental properties, VA and FHA. Mortgages are MyLend's specialty. And when you've been doing it as long as they have, you've seen it all. I've been saying it for years, and it's still true today. MyLend is constantly closing loans other lenders just can't close. The Fed is starting to lower rates, so your time to act is now. Take a few minutes out of your day and call my friends at MyLend. 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Online, it's mylend.com. Spelled it MILEND. NMLS and Georgia Mortgage License C148769. MyLend's located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. MyLend is an equal housing lender.
When you open a garage door, you realize we live in magical times. People used to live in huts made from dung. Now we have houses so big there's a special door on the front so you can drive your car right inside. And the door opens itself by magic when you're still half a block away. Imagine telling that to the townsfolk who had to yank open the castle drawbridge with a giant chain every time the king felt like a stroll. So why doesn't your garage door do all the magical, wonderful things we've worked 4.5 billion years to invent? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. We repair broken or stubborn garage doors and get them working like new. Better parts, fresh lubrication, full service, good as new. Magical times. You don't have to live every day with an awesome thing that isn't awesome just because it needs to be fixed. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage, and we'll come over and make it right. Magical times.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
11:50 on the Mark Arum Show. Back to that trouble on I-20, live with the latest. Andrew Seco.
Officials working hard to get that big rig tipped back over, but we are not out of the woods yet. The 20 eastbound ramp to 285 northbound, exit 51 right at the southwest side of Fulton County. That is shut down. Delays looking tough, only going to get tougher. Luckily, you got a perfect alternate right behind you. Merge off Fulton Industrial, exit 49 up to Highway 78. Use that to hit 285. Andrew Seco, 95.5 WSB.
Happy 76th birthday, Steve Perry, lead singer, former lead singer, right, Deborah, of the group Journey.
Former lead singer of Journey, yep.
If the state of Connecticut had an official band, it's Journey. That was everything that was on the radio when I was a kid was Journey.
One of the biggest bands.
Now he was replaced by an Asian singer, right? Isn't it an Asian?
The current
dude?
singer is an Asian singer.
Yeah,
Filipino, I believe. Yes.
Sounds amazing though.
He sounds great.
Yeah, and that of course was the used in the final scene of The Sopranos. Where it cut to black.
Where no one knows what happened.
Yeah, so I just saw, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Going to get to the important stuff in a second. I saw an Instagram video. One of the main characters, the big chubby guy, Steve Shirioka, he played Junior's. He said apparently like 9 of the cast members got together to watch the series finale. They knew how, they had the script, and they knew basically how it ended. It just said, fade to black or cut to black. But they were still caught off guard with the abrupt ending of the thing. And they never got confirmation from the show creator if Tony lived or died. And they were only Michael Imperioli liked the ending. Everyone else was like,
really?
What the heck, man? Like James Gandolfini's like, did my cable go out? Something like that. I thought it was interesting. Anyway, happy birthday to Steve Perry. Oh, this is a great, great birthday. I love this.
No, I can't.
Diane Lane turns 60. Sherry Valens from The Outsiders. Oh, be still my heart. Love, love, love Diane Lane. And a sad note in history, 17 years ago today, 17 years, Heath Ledger was found dead.
I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? You complete me.
That was him in The Dark Knight. He won the Oscar for that after
he did a posthumously.
Yeah. He was only 28, and that was 17 years ago. Unbelievable. All right, updating the winter weather. First off, there are still delays down at Hartsfield-Jackson. I had Vinny Bagadona scour TikTok to try to find some videos of folks stuck in the delays. He found one that was clean.
You traveling through Hartsfield-Jackson Airport today, but don't even play around with that. Oh, I'm going to get there 30 minutes early. I'm going to get there 40 minutes early. You're going to get left. You better get here on time. You heard it here first.
Checking the wait times at securities, they were up over 90 minutes at one point. Now down to 25 minutes at the main checkpoint, 37 at the North Terminal. Pre-check south is only 16 minutes now, so getting better there. Hartsfield-Jackson tweeted out why there was such a big delay earlier this morning, and apparently it was just TSA agents calling out, like they couldn't get to work. And normally I'd say, well, that's ridiculous, but MARTA trains weren't even running on a full schedule.
The trains weren't running?
No, they were running like sporadically, so I get that. The airport said passengers should get to the airport 3 hours prior to domestic departure. So it was just TSA folks that couldn't get to work. The reason for the delays. Power outages in the state, still 48,000 without power across the state of Georgia. I believe a majority of those are going to be central, south, and coastal Georgia. Not too many, I would imagine, here in metro Atlanta. Got an update from the Department of Transportation. We had Natalie Dale on earlier on the show giving us the lowdown of what's going on, not only here in metro Atlanta, but around the state. The latest from the DOT, as the snowfall and icy conditions gripped much of the state Tuesday afternoon and evening. Georgia DOT continued its work overnight to treat and plow roads across much of Atlanta and in the central, southern, and coastal parts of the state. So this truly was a statewide event. I didn't really know this until I read the press release, Deborah. A state of emergency declaration remains in effect for all of Georgia. We are under a state of emergency.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Nothing for us. So we didn't even get an email about. But yeah, state of emergency remains in effect for all of Georgia. Today, not a normal travel day in most of the state. The Georgia DOT requests the public's patience as the department deals with the impacts of the highly unusual storm and its after effects. Travel this morning south of I-20 and south and east of I-85 is hazardous to very dangerous. Georgia DOT advises those who are able to shelter in place and telework throughout today should do so. So a state of emergency still declared in effect for all of Georgia.
Longoria's fact of the day.
All right, today's National Blonde Brownie Day, also called Blondies. They're actually considered to be the predecessor to chocolate brownies, meaning they came first historically, and their original recipe didn't contain chocolate, giving them the lighter color. The name Blondie only became popular in the mid-'70s, with some arguing that the first brownie recipes were actually more like Blondies, using vanilla, molasses, instead of cocoa powder.
This is a bold statement I'm going to make right now. Brownies are the most underrated dessert of all time.
They are.
No one ever brings them up. No one ever says, "Oh, I'm craving a brownie," or but you show up to some place with a plate of brownies, you're the hit. They go first.
And a half a gallon of ice cream.
Are they tough to bake? Are brownies tough to bake compared to like cookies and?
I think they are compared to cookies,
Yeah.
just because depending on how you like them is different. But I will never make a brownie again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Been defeated.
You've been defeated. All right.
Oh, wow.
But you're still going to bake other stuff for us.
Yeah, other stuff, sure, yeah.
All right, national. And I don't care, regular brownie, blondie, whatever you got. Salted caramel. Give me all them brownies. Happy National Blondie Brownie Day, Longoria. Let's do stars of the show.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram Star of the Show?
I earned one this morning. Not only did I get here, I spent, I think might have been a record, $42 of roller grill food from Quick Trip. I dare someone to find me a receipt with more than $42 of just roller grill food. So I get a star of the show. Deborah gets a star of the show. Longoria gets a star of the show. Vinny, this is remarkable. Vinny did audio, screened the calls, but he got to work early today. That's, I mean, like way early.
I will say that the Gen Zers, when the bad weather has come, they've stepped up.
Yes.
You know, none of the millennials could make it in, but all the Gen Zers did.
Yeah, Vinny, good job.
Like Rachel early. Remember Rachel?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Rachel
I was
early.
like, oh, Vinny, Vinny gets in here by the skin of his teeth. I'm like, with this winter weather, we might not see Vinny till 10:30. He was here early, so good job,
That
Vin.
being said, he's not here now.
Oh, yeah. He's already gone.
What?
He coffee badged.
He pulled a Purnell.
Yeah, he pulled a Purnell. He's out. He's
Coffee
out.
badge. Remind me to talk about the coffee badge story tomorrow. All right, other stars of the show. Natalie Dale from the DOT. She joined us live. Phenomenal work by Natalie and the whole DOT. I mean, the interstates are, they're glorious. Good job out there. Katie Weiss, reporter, joined us live from New Orleans. 9 inches of snow. That's insane. By the way, Christina Edwards said the record snowfall in January is in Atlanta 8.3 inches. Back in 1940. Imagine what Atlanta would have been like if we got 9 inches of snow. Unbelievable. Daniela Sartori from Bloomberg, John Decker, and Karen Travis from the nation's capital all get stars of the show. Conversation will continue on all the social medias if I can get home safely. At Mark Arum, MarkArum. Don't go anywhere. I got another 5K Day bonus blitz keyword after the noon news. Stay safe. Stay warm, Atlanta. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
To a simpler place and time. Oh, yes, he is. Now I'll be with him. I know you will. On that midnight train to Georgia. Even on that midnight train.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.